world, you know, she has to go through pain and travail. So it's the same thing. Before we're you know, in the end, before the kingdom of heaven rises and is established, we're gonna have to see and have to go through a large amount of hell upon the planet Earth. You know, and we're seeing hell being pushed on the planet Earth as we speak. In this quarantine, this mandatory lockdown, you see suicide rates going up. You see the crime rate jumping dramatically. Theft is at an all-time high. Yep. Prisoners are killing each other. You know, like I said, food shortages, rationing, and things of that nature. Unemployment. The stress levels are in grief is at an all-time high, and that's all prophecy, man. Matter of fact, if you get that, whoever had that Revelation 19. Oh, you got it. Yep.
This is Revelation 19:10, and it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not.
Yep.
I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren."
This is the angel that's speaking to John. You know, because John, when he first seen the angel, he seen the magnificence of that angel, and his first reaction was to drop down and worship, because he knew that man was greater than him in the spirit, so to speak. You know, but he said, I'm thy fellow servant. Like, we working together. I'm on a celestial realm working. You know, you working as a terrestrial angel. You know, but continue.
That have the testimony of Mashiach Yahushai, worship Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy.
Right, so the testimony of Yahushai, which the word testimony goes into witness, the witnessing of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. You see, so when Yahushai, even when Yahushai came 2,000 years ago, that was prophecy. And it spoke about, what's that in Hebrews, how after his departure, you know, the last days were started. And what, you know, according to scholars, around 33 AD was the death of Yahushua. So 33 AD, transpiring, you know, fast forwarding all the way to the point now in the year 2020. You know, we're in the last couple of hours, really. Right. You know, if you really want to break it down in a time span, you know, last couple seconds. You know, and the scriptures speak about what in the end it shall speak. You know, and the volume and the pitch of these prophecies are going up and up, man. Brother got that in Second Ezra. Is it more than that? That was it. Okay, bro, bring out what you got, then we'll hit that.
Okay, Con, this is Revelation 12:1. "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Yep.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth."
And those 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That woman represents Israel. You know,
delivered
and pain to be delivered.
"And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head."
It said a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and what else?
Having 7 crowns upon his head.
And having 7 crowns upon his head. The crowns represent 7 kingdoms. You know, a crown is what back in the day when you would actually take a king and you anoint him. You know, when you would have monarchs and things of that nature to really show and represent that he was the king, he would have a certain elegant crown. So when it speaks about the different crowns, and even now, when you speak about the French crown, or you hear about the Spanish crown, or the different crowns of Europe, that represents the different kingdoms of Europe. You see, and that was back in the day. That was the Roman Empire, but in today's time, we know that now as the EU, all right, NATO, but mainly the EU, the 7 heads and the 10 horns. You know, the different nations that accompany America, which America is the horde that rideth upon the beast. You know, because America has basically, which Trump said that in his statement this week, how he basically has full control. You know, he has full control of the government, and America really pushes themselves as that kingdom on earth, and truly it is. It's the superpower. All right, in order to really, you know, mainly to do transactions, you have to use this United States monetary system. You know, it dominates in most fields when dealing with resources, when dealing with power. HBIC. It's the HBIC. It's the de facto.
And they call the president of the United States POTUS. They call him the leader of the free world.
Leader of the free world.
So he's the leader of this Western.
They'll say the most powerful man in the free world.
Right.
That's right.
Will we keep reading this? All right, come verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to deliver, be delivered.
So it said the tail drew the third part. All right, the third part represents Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Because when you go to the history in Kings, all right, you had the splitting of the two kingdoms, the southern and the northern kingdom, and it was mainly because of taxation, just like even here in America, when America broke off from the from Britain, it was mainly taxes, man. Because you had Jeroboam and Rehoboam, and when Rehoboam got into power, they wanted to ease the loads. The Israelites wanted to ease the load, and what did Rehoboam say? He said, "I'll make my finger thicker than my father's loins," and that represented taxes. Because when after that he got the taskmaster to come and collect from the Israelites, and what did they do? They killed them. So then you had that split amongst the kingdoms, and then you had the different wars between Jeroboam, which was the northern kingdom, all right, and I think it was the main capital, Samaria, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had the southern kingdom, which was Rehoboam, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Jerusalem. You know, then you had the different kings, and by you had the Syrian wars that took place. They swept up the 10 tribes, and they got led away captive into the Syrian captivity. And you had that which remained, which was the Judites, the Benjamites, which would be the Negroes, the Haitians, and Jamaicans. All right, and the Levites. The Levites would be the Haitians. All right, so Esau, you know, in the latter parts of history, when the Roman Empire came into power, they had the dominance. That's why it was the Roman Empire. When you look at the structure of the Roman Empire and the Roman Empire map, you see that they dominate the Europe all the way to Israel. Then it you know, curls in the Mediterranean, of course, and the Middle Eastern area, and it goes all the way into like North Africa.
Yep.
You know. Some more?
Yeah.
Some more on that? Yeah, keep on that. That's the spirit.
Before the woman,
but that's a lot of history. You know, you got to know that history, and you got to know, like I said, if you don't know your history, then you're doomed to repeat it. And really, Esau is really coercing the tribes, even in these days now, to dominate and control them, just like he did back then.
Right.
These military experts, these so-called military geniuses, and the leaders of the so-called leaders of the free world, they study the Roman Empire. You know, they advocate, they're big advocates of Julius Caesar, you know, Julius, Augustus, Tiberius, Nero. You know, they study the context, they criticize the text, they see the policies, they see what worked best in the system, they see what didn't work, you know, and they imitate it. That's why a lot of this policy you see today, it's like, damn, this ain't nothing but the Roman Empire. Why? Because they actually study the Roman Empire. They actually take their ideals and their motivation from the Roman Empire, hence being basically the daughter of Rome. New Rome, the deadly Rome that was.
And if I may say, you know, LD Yashimon put a video up about ISPK talking about a guy had a mark of the beast. Well, the beast wasn't even around back then.
Exactly. The
scriptures tell you that the kings gave the beast power for 1 hour. This all is recent. So like you're saying, like then that was going into the Treaty of Rome. You know.
Hey, well, we read what's that? Revelation, first chapter, first verse says basically these are visions that shall shortly basically come to pass in the future. It's like the you know the brother said, the mark of the beast couldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? Back
could have been thousands, either wasn't even hundreds.
Solomon had the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
He's bugged out. The mark of the beast wasn't even written in. You know, it wasn't spoken up until the time of Revelations. All right, because John, when John was on the island of Patmos, he wasn't getting visions of the past. If that was the case, he would have spoke about Solomon actually having the mark of the beast. All right, men took this mark back in the day, and they're going to take it in these days now. But he spoke about in the latter days, these apocalyptic events would take place, and one of the main ones would be the mass chickens.
Hey, and then the key thing is, it's called the revelations, the revealing.
Right.
So, what do you need to reveal what you already know? You already know that happened in history in the past. So, what Yahweh Shah, when you're dealing with God through the Spirit, was something that would, like the brother said, something that would to come in the near future, according to a certain amount of centuries. That's happening now with the mark of the beast. You know?
That's right.
Just let me know when you want to start.
Read a little bit more on that.
Come, verse 5.
I want to jump down to verse 12, but we keep on.
Come. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was...
It says she brought forth a man-child the man-child that was to rule the nations with the rod of iron. And when Yahweh Shai, which we know that is know that to be Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, when Yahweh Shai came on earth, did he rule the nations with a rod of iron? No. He didn't. He came as a sheep. He came humble. All right. He came, bringing discourse. You know, he wasn't, kicking ass and taking names, so to speak. He wasn't slaying. You know what he said? If this is my kingdom, then will my servants fight. He even rebuked men in his assembly, Peter, that James, John, that were actually even getting carnal. You know, because they thought it was time. You know, there was war ready. Yeah, the sons of Zebedee. Because they said, what he said, shall we make fire come down and destroy these Romans?
The sons of thunder.
The sons, he said, okay, sons of thunder. Which they was in the spirit though, because they knew who the enemy was. And you got to in today's time now. See, Jake don't know who the hell the enemy is. But the men in the scriptures back then, they knew exactly who the enemy was, and they was ready to get busy. But it wasn't the time. You know, they had the right mentality, but it was just the wrong time.
Wait ye upon the Lord.
Wait ye upon the Lord. He said, till I rise up to
Come. Who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up.
To Yahweh and to his throne.
Yeah, jump down to verse 12.
Come, verse 12. And it says, and therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
So it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. All right, the inhabitants of the earth is who? Us. We inhabit the earth in these days now. All right, we have our different habitats and our abodes all throughout the planet Earth. All right, North America. All right, 300 plus American citizens. And it speaks about the devil coming down with great wrath, knowing that he have but a short time. And who is that devil? That devil is the so-called white man. All right, when you read Revelations, he was known as what? That great dragon, which is known as the serpent and the devil. When you read Revelations, and it intertwines it all the way back to Genesis.
That old serpent.
That old serpent. With those tactics, all right, of control and dominance, subtlety, deceit. And they mainly push their deceit and their subtlety through this legislation, sneaking things in context. There was even certain things in the stimulus bill that passed that most people didn't even know about. You had Jakes that got distracted. They got their little $1,200 check. They hitting backflips and putting the money all over the putting money all over putting spreads out.
Spreading out them 20s.
Spreading them dubs out. When really Esau was put that money in the the big corporations, man. That's right. It was which was in millions of dollars. There was certain texts that spoke about certain individuals really getting millions of dollars, man. And you American citizens only got a one-time $1,200 payment, man, which ain't shit. And Trump said, if you listen to the press conference, I was listening to it last night. He was like, we're gonna get. He didn't say it that. It wasn't that blunt. But he basically said we're gonna get it back anyways. Yeah. We gave it to him, but he was like, we're gonna get it back.
Well, that's why it's called a stimulus. It's to stimulate the economy. Give the people the money, they'll have money to purchase American goods and buy certain things and give it right. That's what it's really for anyway. And you know who's the biggest consumer? Our people. So they got that in the hands of the people. This first check, they did get the money to the hands of the people. Yeah. So they can stimulate. Right. But $1,200 is like the deacon said, it's not a lot of money at all. No, but for what it's worth, they're going to use that to their advantage.
That's right. They say spend that shit, spend a check and get
it right. No, spend it and get right back.
Jake ain't finna pay no bill with that. Jake finna put that.
Right.
One of the things is you gotta pay it back on your next return. So next year when Jake file their taxes, we ain't gonna get shit back.
Yeah, they say that's a possibility. I was looking into it. They saying you don't, but hey, only time will tell.
Yeah, only time.
It's a stimulus bill. So of course they just supposed to give it to you.
Yeah, the IRS put out that you wouldn't have to pay it.
Yeah, you probably don't have to pay it back.
But that's what they say. So.
But at the end of the day, we know Esau has plans to basically get Jake, rock Jake to sleep. But we'll keep going in that Revelation 12.
All right, Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Right, and it's certain individuals in this organization of the devil. All right, because it's not just one devil. You know, when you read in John, it said, you know, in these times you think it's one antichrist. It's many antichrists, man.
Millions.
It's millions. This political system, corporate America. All right, your senators, your mayors, was they're low-level devils that really get the green light from really your federal officials, and the federal officials really get it from the elitists, man. It's checks and balances, which truly it ain't even checks and balances. It's really
It's hierarchy.
Yeah, it's hierarchy, man. They tell what to do, you know, because you had this whole debate whether states can open government or whether the federal government opens government. They was trying to have this debate, who has the control, you know, and you had Cuomo speaking about how it's basically checks and balances when America was established.
Yeah.
That's why you had the different states that was established to come as a union under the federal government. And you know, it's, you know, whatever they say, you know, the federal government doesn't just have the end all be all, which truly they do.
Truly they do.
They truly do.
They fund everything.
They fund everything, and with this martial law and with these different enactions declared, that really gives the president, these different executive orders, and that suspends the Constitution, man.
Oh, FEMA?
Yeah.
FEMA got a big role in there too. They can call shots.
That's why you have what was it? I think the first state to state that they're gonna get more lenient with the social distancing restrictions was Texas, because Texas has a historical place of they can secede from the union whenever they want to, part of their state constitution. So it's gonna get real dicey with the this devil being divided, man.
And when the protests are popping up now,
Yeah.
different protests in Ohio, North Carolina.
You got sheriffs
There
in
was another one.
Michigan.
Yeah. The sheriffs are now they're part of protesting these lockdown restrictions because what? Because basically what it is impeding on the day-to-day activities of local law enforcement. You know, of course, the strain that is put in on the medical field. You know, as they say, you know, allegedly, but also just on the spirit and the minds of the people. So like brothers going into it's that struggle, but this is that pressure from above.
Yeah.
And what's happening now, we're starting to see that little bubble of that pressure from below start to come up. And then when they get to start the clashing, that's when you're going to see, well, you know what, we're going to have to use FEMA and these other troops for actual, you know,
Get more combative.
physical combative, physically, you know, restrict, put up roadblocks, put up, you know, checkpoints.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
a lot of things have been to come to America that people have been saying for years, what we've been saying for years. Things about to change. It ain't going back to normal.
Nah, it's not going back no.
Not that normal everyday we can free and let's party and go to the club and go to school. It ain't gonna be that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
go to
something
the football
totally different.
game.
Right.
Yeah, football, basketball game.
That's where you get the term new social norm. It's gonna be a new social norm.
Yeah, new social norm.
I say concerts may not come back. The earliest concerts come back is 2022. You know, and y'all brothers made a good point because we were talking about the other night about how basically this is kind of like a test run. You know, to see who's gonna you know, go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Esau is basically putting it out there just to kind of see, okay, this state they're gonna have a little bit of resistance. You know what I'm saying? This area they're gonna be obedient. You know,
they tracking people through Google and Apple too. See who's been being obedient to social distancing, and who's been moving around. So you know, Esau he just playing around with it.
Yeah, it's beta.
You know?
That's why you get the term beta testing, because it's really, when you look at the animal kingdom, the beta is the weaker form. He's the lesser of the group. And that's what Esau is doing. He's doing the less pressure he can bring upon you as possible. But when he bring that alpha male spirit to you, these people ain't gonna be able to stand it.
That's a good point.
I got a quick one. This is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Hey, and who was that? That's Esau. Esau was given that great sword in Genesis the 27th chapter. All right, and just because he doesn't show it all the time doesn't mean, well, he does really show it, but see what Esau has done really through media is controlled the narrative. War has always been going on, but can you just turn on live television and just see the shootings in Syria? Yeah, and just see bombs and people, the Americans bombing people in Turkey. You know, that's why they control the narrative in the different news. You know, And most people don't know what's going on. See, back in the day, they would actually have images of body bags and all kind of different things that would be displayed in the wars. But they really censored all that.
Yeah, Vietnam, they were doing that.
Yeah, the Vietnam conflicts, and they were seeing that America getting their asses kicked in the Vietnam conflict. So they said, nah, this is gonna traumatize the American citizens, man. You know, let's just make it seem like everything good, you know, everything cool and dandy, you know, while we fight these wars.
Meanwhile, they getting their fucking ass whooped.
Meanwhile, they getting their asses kicked.
And that's why the other countries, the regular civilians are so far ahead of us as being civilians, you know, here because they are norm. It's a more normal thing to them to see shit like that. Yeah.
They live in the real world. Yeah. America's a big amusement park. That's why when you go to these amusement parks, it looks like the world.
It looks like the world.
You go to Disney World, there's parts that look like New York. There's parts that look like other Africa and shit. Because Miami, because it's a small version, it's a micro version of the world we actually live in. This is Six Flags and Disney World and Universal Studios.
They continue to use something called yellow journalism.
Yeah, yellow journalism.
That's why the media we see today is an evolved form of yellow journalism. Whether it's fake news or they're using these green screens to say that they're there, but they're not. That's all a part of them basically saying, look, this is what's happening. We're going to report it like this to the American people. That goes back to yellow journalism, going back to right before the Industrial Revolution, 1860s and 70s and stuff, because it was all about basically keeping in control of the people. I think as it goes back to the Civil War too.
I think it was another. It was an Operation. Either Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah, that was later. Yeah.
Which it was really just like you said, those false green screens. You'll watch these different green screens with Bloomberg and different individuals. And you'll see bombs dropping and shit like that. You know, it was one video where it was just showing it was fucking fake, man.
Yeah, blue screen, green
you know,
screen.
and you actually watching these different news coverages and you thinking he in the midst of the goddamn war, man.
Just like
that nigga downtown at the CNN.
Man, he in the back of his
that's what they did with the moon exploration.
With
the green screen. That was when that green screen technology was really taking off, and they seen how they could manipulate them visuals, man. You know, you had a high level of animation that was going on around the same time that they explored the moon. You know, you had like a lot of cartoons. You know, it was major for that whole animation, because prior to that, you know, it wasn't, you know, it was just more so westerns and things of that nature, sitcoms. But when they started to get that green screen development, they was able to push out a high form of witchcraft. You know, where you have two people, you have Martin or you have Eddie Murphy playing 7 characters at one goddamn table. That's witchcraft. When you think about it, that's witchcraft.
That's how you know the next level of Esau's trickery is going to be that Project Blue Beam. That's going to be the next level, because now you can fake an entity in real time.
Which is a possibility it's going to happen. You know, the scriptures don't say it, so I mean, it's a possibility it's going to happen. The Project Blue Beam.
Ignorant of Satan's devices.
Yeah, the scriptures say be not ignorant of Satan. If it does happen, though, we already know what time it is, because the scripture says in Matthew the 24th chapter how there's going to be false saviors and false messiahs that's going to arise and bring signs and wonders. You know, which even after Yahweh Shah passed, you had certain individuals that said that they was the Messiah. I think this guy. Was it Sabbaty Zev? It was a couple of individuals like I am the Messiah. Oh, Comfy. You know? Comfy was one of those individuals that said that he was the Messiah.
Yeah,
you know?
a nigga in Harlem back in the day, Father Divine, that was going around saying he was God in the flesh. And he had niggas. But he was this go back to like the 1920s, and he had Jake all in New York giving food. But you know, you give Jake some free food, you could basically say you God to him, man.
Yeah, you got him. Give destroy the heart, you know.
Yahweh be Yahweh.
Selassie, even though he never said he was.
Well, he said he came out of direct lineage of Solomon, and which Solomon, Yahweh Shah came out of the line of Solomon, so he basically was, to a certain degree, saying that he was the savior.
The anointed one.
Oh, the anointed one. Okay.
That was it on that. That was it.
You can bring out what you got, and you can go.
Okay. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 62. It says, yea, and the Spirit of Almighty, which made all things and searches out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth, Surely he knoweth your inventions and what ye think in your hearts. Even them that sin, and would hide their sin.
Oh, you can speak on that, bro.
Yeah, so like he was going into all his different inventions, brothers, all these things are being revealed through the Holy Spirit, Yahawashi and Yahawashi unto us. And now, with that knowledge being increased in the earth, you got average Jakes that's waking up to this bullshit. In a time of a great awakening, that man of sin, perdition being revealed is being 2 Thessalonians.
Now, you know the brother, he's not here, but he's camping across town, Kashakwala. He said this one day, the fact that really the Lord is cleaning you Jake's spirits up just that enough for you to be able to attach yourself to this knowledge, man. By cutting off this world by just that little bit. A lot of you Jakes, now you growing your beards out, so that's spiritual. A lot of you Jakes, you can't flood yourself with all the fuckery. So you're kind of fasting away from the world, so you're going to get more spiritual. Whether it's enough to deem you to come into this word, but just to know that there's something more happening to you.
Jake's starting to get in the know. They starting to know who their governors are. There was a time Jake didn't know who the hell. They were like, what the hell is politics? What's the point of this shit, really?
Right.
Just get money, nigga. That's how Jake thought. That was Jake mentality, but now they're seeing how things cracking and how it's directly affecting them, and they're like, oh, we have to actually have some type of spirit to combat all this madness that's going on. And it ain't about the guns, it ain't about weaponizing yourself. You seeing certain individuals how far that got them. You're trying to weaponize yourself and come against the government. They'll either shoot your ass down or lock you up, throw you in prison for the rest of your life. That's not the battle. So people are starting to get more inclined to wisdom. They're starting to study,
watch the news,
look into prophecies.
Yep.
A lot of people starting to see that this mark of the beast is soon to come, man.
That's right.
So it's truly no cloak for Jake's sins at this point. Because if you take the chip, you can't say, well, damn, I didn't know that was the mark of the beast.
Right.
Everybody and their mama know that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. Whether literally everybody in you might go to your mom, go see your mom. She'll be speaking about the chip.
My sons know. They're not even old enough to even serve the Lord, and they know. But you got a 45-year-old nigga still struggling with it.
Still struggling. And they got this, and that's spiritual too. Cause I was listening to while I was looking at this article. I didn't read on it, but it was like now they're trying to teach children how to come against their parents for conspiracy theories. If their fathers and mothers are so-called conspiracy theorists, and they teach their sons that, they're trying to teach children how to come against their parents the right ways to wiggle around it.
They've been doing that with Disney.
There's a movie, there's a movie with this guy, was it Christian Bale? I believe it was Equilibrium. And basically, in that movie, they raise them up in that society, and you, like, once you're part of like the military, like the task force, you have no emotion. You can't. I think was Tay Diggs in that movie too. I believe Tay Diggs was in that movie too. And basically, Christian Bale started to kind of wake up out of that sleep. The movie Equilibrium. But basically, same thing with 1984. They indoctrinate you to believe this way.
Divergent.
Yeah, so you won't have no. If you don't know about it, how you gonna turn? But you start to see certain things. So that's what they're trying. The
Hunger Games was like that. Fifth Wave was like that.
They're starting to do that now. If your parent is saying this and saying that or acting like that, they probably have some kind of hotline or something, or you can go to your teacher. And they're doing the indoctrination now because they're trying to cover all angles of coming against what they're trying to do.
I got a precept for you.
This is going back to what you were saying about where the fight is at. Where the fight is at. Because the fight's not in the flesh. So this is Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
And this is Paul the apostle speaking. He said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. When these men were on the planet Earth, they wasn't gaining arms, man. They wasn't trying to get as much swords and personnel and stockpiling as they could have. They had the free liberty to purchase swords and purchase shields and bows and arrows and train, rigorously, for the different kingdoms and things of that nature. But was they doing that? Hell no. They knew that wasn't a battle to be fought, and if they were to fight that battle, they would lose miserably. Because the Lord wasn't for that type of battle. The Lord is for the battle in the spirit. Scripture speak about tearing down strongholds. Keep going.
Right? So it says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
See, but against principalities. Keep going.
Against powers.
Against powers. America itself is a power. So when we're fighting against this government, we're not to get together and to see how many guns that we could purchase. Because now you're seeing legislation passed where your Second Amendment is being suspended. You can't purchase bullets and all these things. So the battle's definitely not there. And Esau has innumerable bullets, man. It ain't even really about the guns and the capabilities you got now. Hell, it was articles and documents came out where they was dropping guns out in Chicago for them to kill each other, man.
Yeah. They've been doing that.
Yeah,
They want you to have guns.
They want you to have guns. Because they know where you're gonna turn it to, each other. You know, Jake get a little bit of power, you know, they don't get compliant, you know. And the spirit is really, you gotta use the main weapon, which is your mind, man. That's where the masses of your capabilities is really located. Is your mind.
That's right.
That's why, it's even articles on that. When the Roman Empire fell, one of the main reasons why the Roman Empire and even Greece fell was because of the people. The people stopped believing and trusting in the system, and they started getting together.
Protesting.
They started protesting. You know, they started to basically get their minds right, getting the spirit. So the same thing now. That's why it's a big war against conspiracy theory. If it's fake, why the hell are you entertaining it then? It's just fake news. But they know that this information is just that, information. The word inform is to form up, to form in. Put you in line, put you in the right spirit. All right, make you upright. You know? Information, man. So what's happening? Brothers are getting informed. You know, we're getting that's in Ezekiel, that army coming back in its form, coming back in the spirit, you know, which is an enemy to the state, which is an enemy to the government. See, Esau uses tactics, and one of the main tactics they used was divide and conquer. Everybody has their own ideology. Everybody has their own religion. Everybody has their own perspective, opinion. All that's cut out the window, man.
Yep.
You know?
I got something real quick dealing with, you know, the war against conspiracy theory, which is basically a war against truth. You know, anybody that has a form of truth is an enemy. Whether you have the whole truth, half the truth, or part of it, you still against the grain. So they're gonna treat you as such. Now you have some truthers that's more high profiles than others, but all in all, Esau gonna come at Alex Jones. He gonna come at all these guys that he didn't set up. You know, this but real quick, this is Romans chapter 1, verse 25. It says, "Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie?" You know, and that's what they do. They try to say, "Oh, well, that's a conspiracy." Well, wait a minute. You know, well, everything else is upside down, so maybe the conspiracies is true. You know, you changing the truth of the Lord. So you already told us we was African Americans. Now that we find out we Hebrew Israelites historically and biblically, is that a conspiracy, nigga? You lied. You clearly lied, nigga. Now we find the truth. Now it's a conspiracy.
I was gonna say to add to your point, is really all of us conspiracy theories, if you want to call it that, is what led all of us to the truth. Having that mind frame of questioning what they're telling us, and everything that comes against us. See, a conspiracy is when you're the, I guess for lack of a better term, the victim. You're the victim of the act because it's just an evil matter that they're doing. It's not a conspiracy to Esau.
It's the biggest Me Too movement.
Right, it's not a conspiracy for them. It's a conspiracy on our end because we're like, no, this guy's trying to kill me.
Right.
He ain't gonna tell us he's gonna kill it. He is killing us.
Oh man, that's a good point.
And what does the word conspiracy mean? To breathe together. Con is with.
It's evil schemes that come together.
Spiracy goes to the word spirit, which is the breathe.
I got it.
You got it. Go ahead.
It's conspiracy. A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful.
Come on, man.
So it's unlawful to believe that we Hebrew Israelites?
I know.
Like what?
Have a meaning to life.
You could be a faggot. That ain't conspiracy. That ain't looked at as being a conspiracy theory. But that's a goddamn lie.
Conspiracy against the Most High. They're the ones that's doing something unlawful.
Yeah, they're the ones with the conspiracy.
By letting homosexuals and all these wicked acts be allowed in this society.
So if you a boy and you believe you a girl, does that make you a conspiracy theorist?
Wayne son.
Right.
Come on, man. That don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, and Esau, like the Georgia Guidestones. That was a conspiracy. That was, and we went to the Georgia Guidestones a couple times, man. We don't know who the fuck put those plaques there, but you know it was a group of individuals. It wasn't just one man.
Right.
Pick this big ass stone up, lift it. It was a big boy crew behind it, and they had to be the movers and shakers because it's still established to this day.
With cameras in the middle of nowhere.
With cameras in the middle of nowhere, man.
Different languages.
Yep.
Different languages. Yeah, it was one individual that knew Sanskrit. He knew
Swahili.
Hebrew, Swahili.
Yep.
Nah, man. That was the elites. All right, and even here in Georgia, in Jekyll Island, what they say, 1913, the Federal Reserve Act, that was a conspiracy. They laid low. They got in the area where most people don't know about.
A whole island.
Yeah, a whole island, you know.
The
they got together to create a plot to create the Federal Reserve.
The transatlantic slave trade was a conspiracy. Because you gotta think, before they even started to gather Jake and round them up and bring them to the Americas, it was probably a decade of planning.
Oh, yeah.
They had to make the ships.
Yeah.
They probably was setting that thing up for 50 years, if not more. Because you got to think, you had this group of people to finance the ships. You had to have these group of people that's building all these goddamn ships. You had to go map out the land of America.
It takes a lot of work.
Okay, Christopher Columbus, he hit the Americas in the 1400s. Niggas didn't come over here to the 1600s.
Right.
So it was a full-blown scheme. That's a conspiracy, nigga.
A thorough plot.
That's a conspiracy. You Edomites are the biggest. The nation of Esau is the biggest conspiracy theorists in the planet Earth. We ain't no conspiracy theorists. We are truthers. It's a difference.
Conspiracy facts.
Conspiracy facts. The water facts. Okay.
They just put basically a definition on it because we starting to see the truth. So it's like if you question the truth and you study all the bullshit and deception and you start to unveil, you go, somebody get that in Obadiah, how the hidden things that we saw searched out.
Yep.
When you start to, I just wanted to bring that out real fast. But after when you study and you go into it and you start to see that everything that you've been taught was a lie, that's what Esau wants you to stay away from, man. You know, a lot of these different sicknesses, hell, even this whole thing with the coronavirus, man. It's coming out that was a conspiracy. And if you listen to it, they were saying that bat that they say was contracted, that coronavirus in the wet markets in China, they was like, man, that bat was fucking 40, 50 miles out. How the hell was it in that location? Which Trump said that. I was listening to it was like a damn 2-hour press conference. And the person had asked about it, is y'all gonna crack down on China, according to, the World Health Organization and their conspiracy, which they were sitting down with the Chinese officials, and you had this big ass statue, which was the goddess of death, Shiva, the goddess of death, and they was devising a plan to kill and to destroy, man.
But that's a conspiracy theory to people.
But that's a conspiracy theory.
That's crazy talk.
But we bugged out.
Hey, they said, they came together and said, we're going to take away the name of Israel.
That's
the ultimate conspiracy. Group of Edomites came together.
Edomites came together.
It's an evil scheme. We never wanted to take away your name, Esau.
Nah.
Right.
We want to tell you your name. You're an Edomite. We get off by telling you the truth. Not telling you a lie.
Whitey.
Yeah, we ain't gonna call you white. We're not black. You're Edomite. We're Israelites. But see, Esau is all about, we're Hebrew Israelites. You can be a Hebrew, but you're a Hebrew Edomite. All right, you got that in Obadiah?
Hey, if I could, Baba Dushai.
Hold on, real quick. Look at that scripture.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are
through research. How are the things of Esau searched out? Just like when if it's a plot, like you'll look at criminal investigation, Law and Order, or CSI, whatever special, different special victims unit and whatnot, and you'll see somebody get killed. What do? They get the experts. They go on the crime scene and they look at the conspiracy. They see who breathed together. Was it one individual? Was it 5 individuals? They see where the trajectory of the bullets. They see, they look at from top to bottom. They look at hair follicle, the strands. Did the individual fight against them? They look under the nails to see if there was any tears or struggling. They trace they get deep through research, and then that's how they boil it down, and then they go through the monitoring. They study, and then they crack down and say, okay, this was the individual. we have full evidence that you actually. And then what they do? They catch the individual. They put them in an interrogation room, man. You know, and we doing really all that in the spirit. Through what? Research. We see that we've been brought here forcefully. We got our nationality beat out of us. We see that we've been lied to. Our fathers have been lied to. Our people have been deprived mentally, spiritually. They're malnourished. And then we boil it down and we start to do our research. We're like, damn, all this shit points to the goddamn white man. We connect the dots. He has a problem with you connecting the dots. And that's the essence of being spiritual, man.
Connecting the dots gets in the way of his plan, because the only way he can successfully achieve his goal, it has to be through deception. He can't take over the world through truth. Because if he did, he would condemn himself. Because he's not of the truth. If he had to use the truth to gain power, he's always going to lose. Because he's going to have to tell the world he's an Edomite. He's going to have to tell the world the name of the Lord. He's going to have to tell the Lord that he's going into slavery. So he has to do it in a roundabout way. And when you come with the truth, that's straight facts, it's a threat. It's a threat against him. It literally is a threat against his enterprise, man. But we don't have no problem with that. We don't have a problem with that. We want to be in opposition. I use that word. We want to be in opposition to lies and deception, man, because it ain't goddamn right. That's right. You got people out here goddamn jacked up, man. You just lying your ass off, man. You know? No, that's gonna be like the scripture say, you're gonna be taken out of the way. Rightfully so. That's right. You know? That's right. I got a precept if it wasn't no more on that Obadiah.
Quick point, you were saying he's got to also admit that we're the Israelites. He was telling the truth. That can completely destroy his kingdom.
That'll mess him up.
Yeah, because even this whole thing with the Jew rats that's in the land of Israel now, where's the rest of the tribes, man? The scriptures speak about in those last days, which we believe in the Bible first and foremost. They're like, why y'all ain't reading the Bible though? It's the book of truth. Talmud. They read the Talmud.
They read everything but the Bible.
Everything but the Bible.
They said you know what they say, them so-called the Amalekites over there. They say that the other tribes, they crossed a river called the Sambation River. And they said that since then they have no idea where the other tribes went to. So then the guy asked, so where's the Sambation River? He was like, we don't really know. We think it's south of Israel. Like, hold on, nigga. So you mean tell me, big ass map, you don't know where the Sambation River is at, where the tribes went? And then after that, they just fell off the face of the earth? Nah, man. Niggas is crazy, bro.
He saw a deceiver, man.
But they won't question that as a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Slick, you know? Slick. See, that's the thing. They're good at telling you a story. But when you start asking questions that cut straight through the skin, they don't like that. Like, damn, I ain't. You know, he caught me there. You know? That's how you get the devil. You really start asking questions. You know? And people really hate individuals that ask questions. Because what is it? When you ask questions, that means you're thinking critically. Somebody's telling you it, you're assessing it, and you're seeing the chinks in the armor, and that's really a weapon, to be honest. Just ask a question.
That's why Roger and Ebert were some of the greatest movie watchers, because they criticize it. That's why certain movies that get those Golden Globe certificates, and they call them critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed. You know what I'm saying? So criticizing is something that is very detrimental if you ain't on your shit. You know, criticism it can be crucial. And the so-called white man is getting criticized more than any nation of people on the face of the earth right now. He's under the microscope, man. Everybody is looking at this white man, including himself. Even Edomites looking at you top Edomites like, hold on, bro, y'all niggas is tripping. Y'all doing a little bit too much now, man. You know? So the Lord is bringing all this stuff up to the surface, man. You know? I got something for you real quick. This is Jeremiah 49:10. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Yeah, so the Lord said he made Esau bare, and to be made bare means to be revealed. Okay? And nakedness is another way of saying, of being sinful. All right, covered is another way of dealing with righteousness. That's why I say we're gonna be covered in the white garments. That's the righteousness or the holiness that's covering your sins. But Esau is being made naked or revealed by his sins, man.
That's right.
So the Lord is bringing everything to the surface. They still pulling. We was talking about the Atlanta child murders that happened in the 70s and 80s out here. Niggas killed like 40 some people. They blamed it on Wayne Williams. But now there's a secret documentary coming out saying that it was in the files that the police officers knew that it was the KKK. And the reason why they hid it was because that niggas was gonna riot.
Yeah, I had picked up the reporter from back then. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
He knew back then a reporter that used to work for the local news. He said he was like I'm working on that documentary. He was like I knew back then that this guy ain't doing it.
Yeah, they say it's in confidential records that the Ku Klux Klan was the ones that was going around the west side of Atlanta killing all them kids, but they blamed it on Wayne Williams because they didn't want riots to break out. The Lord bringing this stuff out on you goddamn devils, man. Right. You're getting revealed.
And who was the KKK mainly being funded and being pushed by? The government, man. You had all kind of officials in the government that was either directly associated with the KKK or indirectly associated with the KKK.
Police.
Yep.
Police officials.
That's right. That was it.
The brother got a bad definition.
Okay, you got it, bro.
Bring that up.
It's the word criticize in the etymology. Say the past judgment, usually unfavorable on something. It says from.
Because who likes getting judged? You know, when the judge, actually, has subpoenas and they'll push people into court. And they'll have the gavel. You don't see the person sitting down actually having a good time. Right. That's why really the judge put more time on you if you fucking smiling while on the stand. Like you ain't supposed to be having a good time. This is your life that's gonna be goddamn.
And you gotta dress a certain way.
You gotta dress a certain way.
You want to come in here any kind of way.
Parking ticket.
Hell yeah, that's the thing. Keep going.
It says meaning to discuss critically, that of to censure, point out defects or faults in it.
See, point out defects or faults in it. Like you looking at it, like nah, this ain't coming together right. But see, people with low, that's the thing about having a spiritual IQ. When you have a certain IQ level, you start to critique and you start to see through what most people can't see through. It's like, well, it looks good to me. Like, just like you said, the movie critics. You'll watch a movie and we, in the spirit, we'll watch movies, but we not extreme movie critics like his levels.
Because you gotta know, the break. Movies it's a real breakdown. You got certain types of movies where, it not just like action. Like it's deeper than action. That's a genre. It's a type of, way that you hold the camera that they call it cinematography. Because this one girl was studying it and she was breaking it down. And she goes to movies. She was going to movie theaters by herself and just watching movies.
Like food critics.
Yeah, it's like a food critic.
Like everybody go eat food, but there's food critics where I want to hear their opinion on this new restaurant. They dive into it and eat it and break down the quality of the food and so on and so forth.
The texture.
It's a style. It's a style of movies have it's a style to the movie, like it's like a car. Every car is not the same. It's a style. So we say all that to say that when certain things are up under that microscope, and if it's not A1, if it's not heavily invested into, it's all gonna speak. Then when the critics bring it out, well, fuck Roger and you got certain producers that hate Roger and Ebert, man.
Yeah.
They fucking hate him. They hate his guts.
Quentin Tarantino hates
you. Yeah, he hate him because his movies was. They was good, but they was low grade. They was fucking low grade. Nigga was a cheap ass nigga.
They see through it. Then you be like, well, it was a good ass movie. Nah, but when you actually look into it, and movie critics actually assess it, then they put their ratings that really just, when you see ratings and like you'll click on it before you click on a movie, you might see the rating. You like 4.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't watching this shit. That fucks up people's money, man.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. You can't.
That's how I pick my movies. I look at that Rotten Tomatoes and that popcorn, that little popcorn icon on the side of it is at a 22. Keep going, bro.
Waste my time, man. It's hard to 13%
compared to.
It's something that's hard to impress. Like it's hard to impress an expert.
It is.
When they actually give something credit, it's like, okay, yeah, I see. This is good. You said what?
Raving by that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because you have experts in anything. Just like you know, me, my profession is music, and you know, you might hear a lot of, you know, music to an untrained ear. To the untrained eye, it's just you're not gonna notice anything. But someone that's an expert and that's their thing that they're into, you always gonna pick it apart. You're gonna be like, well, you know, they could have did this better. When you're an expert in anything, but guess what? We're experts in information. Right? So that's why we're able to pick apart Esau. You know?
That's right. You got that Ezekiel?
Yeah. Oh, it's Isaiah. Isaiah 27 and 1. In that day, the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish.
Read that over.
Huh?
Read that over.
Okay. Isaiah 27 and 1. In that day, the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan with a piercing serpent.
Yeah, and the sword really starts right now in the spirit. It said, in that day the Lord will pierce Leviathan. And who is Leviathan? The so-called white man. Why is the white man likened unto a Leviathan? Because he's a beast. You know, he's a great beast. Right? When you deal with the field of animals that the Lord created, really the apex of animals is Leviathan. You know, you look at the animal kingdom, which they call them apex predators, and you think about lions, think about, you know, the big cats, you think about great whites, killer whales, boa constrictors, and you be like, damn, you know, that's really the highest it goes. Most animals don't hunt the apex predators. But who the hell, but some of those have been hunted by man. You got people that wear lion fur.
Yeah.
You got in China with those gooks, those abominable gooks, they eat something known as lion bone soup.
We were speaking about trophies last weekend.
That's where the concept of trophies came from. Elephants. Which that's really that's an apex animal. They don't mainly prey on a lot of animals, but they at the top of the food chain. But how many people say I caught me a Leviathan? You know, never. So the Lord said that he's going to punish Leviathan. The Lord is the only one that can punish Esau in these times, man. There's not one nation that could take this man down. Them Hamites are through. They've been ran over about 5-6 times by Esau. They get ransacked. Esau, well, he don't never leave. Ebola.
He's the oldest son of Isaac. Nigga strong.
Yeah, he's strong as hell.
Only reason that Israel will be able to take him down is because the Lord is going to be with the Israelites.
Michael got to step in.
Say it again?
Michael got to step in.
Yeah, and Archangel Michael got to step in because, you know, he has an aerial. Esau got fucking. He's in the layers of the heavens, bro. Niggas talking about get guns and prepare for the end coronavirus. So what you gonna do when he bring in naval based ships and stuff like that? How you gonna fight him on water? You gonna get a water gun, nigga? You know how you gonna fight him in the air?
They can't even swim, man.
How you gonna fight him? How you can't even hold Esau down on land, bro? Let alone in all the other elements of the earth, man. He'll destroy you. So the Lord is gonna have to strengthen his people to be able to take this devil down, man. He's gonna have to put us to be able to move and maneuver in these elements to take this man down, man.
That are my battle axe.
That's right.
And it was crazy about that scripture the brother read was it said the Lord has a great sword. So his sword, the Lord's great sword is heavier than Esau's.
He gave Esau.
He gave Esau. It's like the Lord now. I'll just do a comparison, right? I wonder the top sword you have claymore, like a 2-inch sword or a katana. But he gave Esau a sword, but he gave Esau a short sword.
Yeah.
You know? If I got a claymore, a double-handed claymore, I'm gonna knock that short sword out of your hand, and I'm gonna cut you both ways. You know what I'm saying? Cut your head off. Or if I got a katana, I'm cutting you in half. You know, or cutting a limb off. So the Lord's sword, same thing with Moses. Moses' serpent ate the serpents of the Magi. So that's what the Heavenly Father's getting ready to do. If Esau's in the spirit of the ancient Egyptians with his witchcraft and his weaponry, best believe Yahweh Shai is going to do the same thing that he did in Egypt with Moses, but even greater at this time.
That's right. Levels. Levels.
Matter of fact, read that over.
Isaiah 27 and 1. And that day, the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword.
See, he had to read. That's why I had to have him read it before. I think about it. He said his sword already, but he said his sword and his great. And he had a double back, man. You know, his great and strong sword. You going?
shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent.
So Esau, this is a time for Esau to get punished, man. That piercing serpent. And when you read, was that Job, was it 40 or the 41st? With Leviathan.
40.
Job 41.
41.
Yep.
It speaks about how it's basically the scales are clamped so tight together that you can't. It's
pierce
impossible
it.
to pierce
Get
it,
in
man.
there.
What's that in today's time now? The government, man.
Another characteristic that Leviathan has that the government has is it hides.
Yep.
It hides itself in the depths, and that's why the scriptures say, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel." You know, that's another characteristic of Leviathan. It's great at hiding. It never shows itself. You know, so this thing is all coming to a full head. And I'll tell you what else is so ironic. As Esau is going to be revealed, so is Leviathan. So it's all through the spirit.
And what they call America, you know, they say the deep state, you know? Because
the deep state.
Deep. And we don't know where the hell the elite's at right now. When the last time you seen, you know, the Rockefellers?
Right.
Like, where are they right now? Do they just walk around in public just chilling? You know, this just in.
Drinking frappuccinos and shit.
Yeah, just drinking frappuccino in Europe and things of that nature.
At the BET Awards with goddamn Lil Baby on the stage.
Yeah, just effing around. If the elites were walking through New York, nobody would know who they was.
Only conspiracy theorists would know who Evelyn Roth.
Only conspiracy theorists, man. Only them.
Only them.
But you know, if Lil Wayne walked to see Lil Wayne, these LeBron James, they can't walk through the streets. Right. But you got men that have trillions of dollars that nobody knows who the hell they are, man. They like ghosts, man. It's more on that. Keep on.
Yeah, it says, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent.
That crooked serpent. And is it not Esau crooked as hell? He's a crook. Robbed us blind, man. Robbed us of all our resources. This is how Esau's a crook. He stole Africa, which we was on the western coast of Africa, brought us here, stripped us from everything, and now he's selling us resources that he took from us in Africa.
Yep. And they told us that
double profit.
Yeah, you sold yourselves into slavery.
That's crazy.
See, look, like Jake now, in order to be a yeah, then they say slavery was slavery. You know, we were indentured service.
And they say it never happened.
It never happened. But you'll see Jakes now in today's time. The top Negroes, top so-called blacks, they show their status symbol through what? Jewelry, diamonds. All those diamonds really came from Africa, man. And really, the scriptures speak about how we are supposed to have a rulership over the world any damn way. All these rubies, emeralds, diamonds, gold, sapphire, all that's supposed to be ours. You know, but the so-called white man stole it. When he stole the world, he stole everything that came with it. Revelations, the 18th chapter, the world was made for our sakes. Revelations, the 18th chapter speaks about all the different incense, cinnamon, all the different resources, scarlet, and the souls, slaves and the souls of men. You know, because now Esau wants to harvest your soul.
Yep.
You see that in the movie. What was that? Get Out. Where they trying to, which they had all kind of, they put a lot of money into those. And really trying that stuff. That you be watching movies, you just think it's for entertainment. Esau been attempting to actually take one person's soul and put it into another.
He wants to be able to go into the spirit world, the spiritual world.
Digitize your spirit.
Yep.
That's where you get altered carbon from.
Yep. Altered carbon. Yep.
He put his ideas and stuff. He throw it in the movies. Like you said, Jay, people think, oh, it's just a movie. He really showing you that's what I'm trying to do.
Trying to get your
What was that movie? Where that rich man was a billionaire in New York, and he was old and dying, and he transferred his spirit into a younger guy's body.
Oh, it was called
I know
it was with the guy, the bald head guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Deathpool, I think.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool, yeah.
Man, what was the name of that movie? It was
yeah, he was in it.
I'm about to
But in the
find
movie,
it,
basically, the point of it was the elite, the rich, they didn't want to die, so they were kidnapping different people around, like soldiers, and then they were transferring their spirit basically into his body, and he would take these pills, and then like it was basically two spirits in one body, and then he would take these pills and basically erase the body, the original spirit in the body, so he could now continue on in the younger. Like you said, they put these things out there. Not like that ain't no real just a cute idea. No, they want to do that.
Yeah.
chop shop that they caught like last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, up north.
Yeah, so you know that's what they were doing with kidney transplants and
harvesting.
all these.
Well, that was what was on Get Out. He said he wanted them big old bubbly eyes.
Big buck.
Yep.
Because Esau has a inferiority complex, and he hides it. He makes you seem like you got the complex.
Right.
Esau created the complex too.
Yeah.
Because Esau has it his damn self. He just used reverse psychology. You know, they everything that they know that they are deficient in.
It's called
they
selfless.
Selfless. Okay. But everything Esau knows he's deficient in, he makes you seem like you're deficient.
Yeah.
You know, those big nigga lips. You know, that big nose. That's why so-called blacks don't have high self-esteem, man. You know, you don't see Jakes wearing the froze and things nowadays. Even if you grow a fro, what most people gonna say? Cut that nappy ass shit. But if the white man has a fro, it looks crinkly, it looks nice.
Right.
You know.
They'll fire a black woman for wearing cornrows to work.
Yeah.
But then a white woman wears it. It's cultural. It's cute. It's cultural appreciation. Yeah, like Esau do that with us, man.
Yeah. I got a precept. Jeremiah 23 and 24. You had that?
I was looking at it earlier.
It says, "Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord. Do not I fill the heaven and the earth, saith the Lord?" So think about it as you have toys and you have a toy chest, and you put all of your toys in your toy chest. Can any toy hide itself from you? Can any one of your toys, act as if you didn't put it in the toy chest? This is what Esau is doing. He's acting like, the Lord didn't put him here. He's acting like he has this plan that God don't know about. And if we can overcome this plan, then we'll overtake the throne of God and we'll be God. You shut your ass up. Shut up. You sound retarded, bro. You sound retarded, bro. What are you talking about?
But he'll tell us that God doesn't exist. But then behind the scenes, he knows it, and he's trying to defeat the Most High.
Yeah. Right.
Putting billions of dollars. They saying, well, if he does exist, we'll be ready for him when he comes. And that's why they put this whole thing out against space, so-called UFOs. But you never heard any politician or anybody in the leadership be like, those might be the angels of the Heavenly Father.
Right.
God is so-called God. We know him to be in outer space, as
right.
people believe, but they see these different vehicles are in outer space, but they don't never link up the dots. No, that's just an alien,
bro.
When they come down, we're gonna be ready for them. Shoot them dead.
They'll say that there is no such thing as God, and then create mythology and give people titles of the God of the water, the God of the messenger, the God of the stars, the God of the earth. But you just said you don't believe in God, and now you got a whole goddamn book about God.
Cereal.
Yeah.
The word cereal is actually the God of agriculture.
It's the God of agriculture.
Yep.
Volcano goes to Vulcan, which that's
the God of the Smith.
Yep.
Yep.
All these different, which most hygiene is a god.
Mm-hmm.
Community is a god.
Community is a god.
Yeah, like people wear those Hermes belts. Mm-hmm. That's an Egyptian god. Hermes was a foot messenger. He was known for his speed. Really? Yeah, it was a Greek guy. He was known for his speed.
Jupiter.
Yeah, you had Diana Ephesia, or Ephesus, Salakia. So hold on. So you sit up here and say that there's no God, and then turn right around and try to be like the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What are you talking about?
So you got your blueprint from the reason you want to be omnipotent.
Yeah, they stupid. It don't make sense.
But it's the pride of Esau, and the Lord really blinded him with pride. Mm-hmm. The Lord did it on purpose to show what he said, to show him he's not God, and he's just a man. Those chariots is just that, just chariot. Because really, we see technology and its advancements now, and we see it as truly advanced. Cell phones and all kind of things that's around us. Like, damn, this shit is crazy, man. The times that we're living in. But we still on a super low level, man.
Yes. Yes.
The Lord, he really is on a super high level. Like, we don't know it's levels to it, It's energy, and spirit. It ain't like we're gonna be having cell phone. That's why when you read in Ezekiel, it speaks about when the Lord makes his return and all is said and done, all this technology is really gonna be destroyed, man. Because it's trash at the end of the day, any goddamn way. And it's harmful to you. Pollution. some more on that?
Yeah.
I got a scripture after that.
I got a quick one. There. Oh well.
It's on the bars. We gonna get ready to rotate it out. Let Tazamak get in next too.
Okay.
It says, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
And he shall, referencing that dragon again, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. What dragon is that's in the sea? That's talking about Esau. The sea in Revelation 17 and 15 represents the people, nations, and tongues. Because he rules over everybody in this great melting pot. And that's why you see U.S. stations all over the earth. All right, you see it in Europe, you see it in Africa. That's why you have AFRICOM, you have AMERICOM, you know, which is the forces of America all throughout the earth. So there is no man that can take this devil down. And you have these dumbass Egyptologists, these Pan-Africans that try to get together with their their units to try to figure out and devise a plan to overcome this devil and get so-called liberation. It's not gonna work that way, man. He has everything basically locked down. You know? And some more on that?
That was it.
Okay. You got something? Go ahead, switch out the
I got something.
All right, bring it up.
This real quick, Psalms 14:1. The fool have said in his heart that there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Yes, and that's people that say that there's no God is people that's immersed in sin, bro. People that just want to do whatever they want to do and have sex with they want to have sex with and eat what they want to eat and just do as thou wilt. Them be the only people that say it ain't no God. Because without the Most High, that means you can be lawless. You don't have to have any code. You don't have to have any morality about yourself. You don't have to move on any type of ethical senses. You could just do whatever the hell you want to do. So that's what they do to justify their lust. They say it ain't no God. Okay? Because there's lawlessness, man. Without power, bro, everything has a power to it, man.
There's no such thing as right and wrong.
Everything is governed by something.
If there is no God, then what makes things right and what makes things wrong?
Exactly.
Right.
You know, that's why in the educational system, they'll teach you about Darwinism. They'll give you all these different concepts and theories on evolution, but they'll never teach you about the Bible. They'll never teach you about the Bible. They'll never teach you about laws and commandments. They'll never teach you about judgment. They try to basically put it as a dividing line. Because if you start to wake up and you actually get a sense of things, then you start to see what's right and what's wrong and what's wicked. And then you'll see that the government that rules over you pushes nothing but it, man. Homosexuality, transgenderism. Now you got abortions. All these different things come against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. But most of these people don't believe in God. They don't believe in judgment. We'll switch with, I'll switch up to this brother.
It's Isaiah 14, and I start at 13. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High."
Yeah, and this first really started with Nebuchadnezzar. When Nebuchadnezzar was in power, he had rulership over the whole earth. Daniel even told Nebuchadnezzar he was that head of gold. When he spoke about how the fowls of the hair and everything comes to you, thou art that head of gold. And Nebuchadnezzar was trying to break down that dream to see what was what, man. Because he had that dream and he went to the what was they basically the magicians and the witches at that time, and none of them could break it down. So what happened? He killed everybody, and then they had Daniel that actually came to him and told him, yeah, thou art that head of gold, and you basically in the rulership. And what happened to Nebuchadnezzar eventually? The Most High humbled the shit out of Nebuchadnezzar. And he seen that it was a power. What did he say? He started to grow feathers and talons. He broke him down low, like a brute beast. And it was a couple instances where men in their great pride, they had to get humbled greatly. I think Heliodorus was another one. He got his ass beaten. There was another one who was it Heliodorus also who Vows felt like they was finna
jump.
It was
Antiochus.
That was Antiochus.
Getting his bowels eaten from the inside.
Getting his bowels eaten from the inside.
Saul.
Yes, Saul got humbled. So the Lord got to do the same humbling to America.
Remember Haman?
Haman?
Yeah, Haman. Yeah.
Nigga hung himself on the same gallows he commissioned them to build.
Yeah. So we know Esau has a heavy judgment that's 10 times worse than all his predecessors. Because he's 100 times prouder, man. he has you know, he has invented certain things that nobody has ever seen on the planet Earth, man. He has created so much stuff in a society that nobody can come close to create. So they like, man, it ain't no God. All right, we are the power. And even Cuomo, he had made a statement about this coronavirus being dropped down. He said we did it. He said not God. And a lot of individuals are basically pissed off about that statement. But that's Esau and his pride. You can't even get mad at him. Be a proud devil. You know? Some more of that.
Isaiah 14 and verse 15. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. The hell represents the pit. Esau's gonna get broken all the way down, man.
That's right.
All these elites that's multi-trillionaires that's living lavish, living hog to hog, you know, with these fucking 100 room houses. Mama got 100 rooms and 30 bathrooms. You can't use all them bathrooms, man.
See that kingdom out there in Europe, they had like 1,440 like one rooms or something like that.
Crazy palaces, man. They can't get through all the. You got people that them elites. They ain't never even been through half they goddamn houses, man. Filthy rich. Multiple houses all over the world. Jets, yachts, bunkers. They eat $20,000 plates. Living lavish, breathing the best air, drinking the best water. You know, they have the best medical practitioners. You know, that's under them. They have that's the fatness of the earth. But it says they're gonna be brought down to hell, to the pit. And it speak about how we literally gonna put them in the pit. That's low. You go from a lavish 1,000-room mansion to a goddamn hole in the ground.
Stay out there in that little box.
Yeah. Little box. Box gonna be a little bit bigger than you. You know? Enough to get your oxygen and get your ass out to work harder, man.
You talking about how they did on what was that, Django? Remember they put that girl in that box in the middle of the field, man. Yeah, Esau gonna get it worse. Might put his ass in a small ass goddamn
Put his ass in a
container,
4x4
container.
It said fetal position.
Yep.
Them gallows.
Yeah.
I have a little container that's shaped just like his body.
Right, just
Hard as hell, just like you can't even do nothing in that bitch now.
Can't do a
You
damn
can't
thing.
turn, you can't do nothing because it's your body.
It's custom
Molded,
made.
Shaped out of wood, bitch.
You use his firstborn son to put his ass over
It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
To the sides of the pit. And nobody want to get thrown in the pit. You hear stories of individuals that be thrown in solitary confinement. They don't come out right, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You done after that.
Yeah.
You in darkness. I was listening to this one guy spoke about how he was in solitary confinement. His nails was falling off. He said he lost his teeth. He lost his hair. He was dying, literally dying in them. Because you being deprived. What happens when you're in solitary? You're deprived from sunlight. You're deprived from vitamin and minerals. You're socially isolated, which that's destructive itself.
Yeah, that's a.
And then they throwing you trays of muck. It ain't no real minerals in that food, man. You know, they're throwing you trash to eat and to survive and make it to the next day. Then when you come out bugged out.
Yep.
Some more on that.
It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
You're like, damn, is this the man? This the one that we all looked up to and you know, gloated in his military capabilities. We was afraid because of the resources that he possessed. The good old America. And this whole place is gonna burn. Everybody looks at this as the basically the golden city. But this place is gonna be set on fire. A little bit more on that.
It says, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
This is gonna be a turning of power, man. We're the ones that's being looked down now. We're looked at as, you know, pieces of crap. And these days now, we're looked at like niggas, low lives, spicks. Nobody would think we would rule. But in the kingdom of heaven, they're gonna be like, damn it. They're gonna even say that. These the ones. It tells you that was that Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. You know, these are the ones that the Lord is actually saving. And this is the man that's actually falling. It's gonna be a rearrangement of power. And nobody expects that, man. That when the Lord actually returns, we're gonna be the ones that's gonna be raised up.
They say they're gonna
The least shall be first and
rejoice over us.
the last shall be first and the first shall be last.
Yep.
They're gonna say, for the Lord has done great things for his people.
Yep.
And that nightmare is gonna become a dream. Esau's dream dream life is gonna be a nightmare.
Which is his real life.
Which is his real life.
Because this is his fake life.
Yeah.
You know,
This is dream.
his real order, his real life is going to be the spirit that he's pushed into the earth, which was a nightmare, a horror story, man. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you devils when you have to live your own reality, because you've created nightmares for our people.
That's right.
Okay, you made life in America a nightmare for so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians, man. Yep. All right. To the point to where you turned us against each other. You got Issachar looking at Judah a certain type of way, Judah looking at Issachar a certain type of way. The different tribes in the islands, they can't stand each other, man.
They can't stand
call
each
a Cuban a Puerto Rican.
He might goddamn take you out, man.
He might goddamn call the cartel on your goddamn ass, man. You know, that was all designed, you know, to destroy us, man.
Once they cut their bands asunder, you know, a band is something that's together.
They hold something together.
So they cut the bands.
Yep.
So the only thing that the tribes are going to have is what, enmity.
Enmity. And this is the reality that you created for us. So guess what? Only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put you under us in the kingdom of heaven, and that reality that you pushed on us, we're gonna put it on you double.
That's right.
In righteousness, man.
Big payback.
And we gonna make you really. It's gonna be a little bit more to it, because we're gonna be doing it in righteousness.
Spirit.
So you're gonna be convicted that this is happening to you because you was wicked. We understand this is happening to us, but we the righteous.
That's right. And a lot of stuff, you know, you'll think about it like, or people will say, all right, what you guys are saying is very inhumane, it's very destructive. You know, why would you even think about doing that to man? It was done unto us. It's just payback, man.
Right.
Yeah. Really, us in our natural mind, like, yeah, that shit crazy as a mug, man. Actually doing somebody like that. But Esau did it to us.
Yeah.
And the scriptures speak about how we have to pay double back onto him. And really, the Lord's gonna put that spirit on us to do it to your ass, man.
Yeah.
You know, depriving you, like you deprived us, taking your women from you. You know, your sons and daughters gonna have to work in that field 20, 22 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
You know, no shoes, picking cotton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That
saw
cotton
the, you
picking
saw
spirit
the,
gonna come back.
you
man.
saw the story of that Jake lady. She had like 14 kids. She was
Mhm.
29.
Right.
She said she had been working since she was 8 years old,
Yeah.
and she only make $1 a day.
Man.
She been working for 21 years, and she ain't even 30,
Mhm.
and only make $1 a day with 14 kids.
And couldn't
It
even
cost
afford it.
$2 a day
Yeah.
to feed all of them kids.
Mhm.
And Esau didn't even think to give her the money that she needed in order to take, and she been working for 21 years.
Right.
That ain't going unnoticed, man.
Then her son had a nail in his foot. He couldn't even get it out.
Her son, he had a nail in his foot, babysitting with
Four
rats,
sisters.
eating through his bed. At 9 years old,
Yeah. You got to pay for that, man.
he pretty much lived a full life.
He grown, yeah, he a grown man at 9 years old.
He probably did ain't had sex.
Yeah, right. And you don't think you have to pay for that? And the thing is, if we could actually go through the stories of slaves, like if you could resurrect the slaves and bring the slave stories back,
Oh, man.
Woo, that was
God,
a light story.
that would really traumatize us.
Jay
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I think it was like, it was Jake that survived. He said, man, he never want to go back to school. I think that's when they kind of freed up Jake at the time. And they interviewed him. He was like, man, that shit was horrible, man. So you don't wish that on nobody.
And it speaks in Revelation the 13th chapter how you're going to have to pay that. But I'm going to go ahead and switch with the brother.
Brothers, you get in. Brothers, grab 2 Thessalonians, second chapter. Yeah. Start there. Isaiah 25. I'm just gonna pick back up in the spirit with what we already going into. You know, ultimately revealing the wicked, man. This the time where Esau, Edom, he's naked. Like, you know, we brought out Isaiah 49 and 10. He's naked, man. He walking around with a thong on right now. He got one piece of clothing left, man. You know, he out here assed out, man. Everybody's seeing him for who he is, man. And ultimately, it begins with his knowledge, wisdom, understanding from the Most High, who exposes him. For so long, he was dwelling in secrecy. You know, the Illuminati was really a secret society. It's not a secret society anymore. It's a known thing that the Illuminati exists, man. You know,
Everyday
and
work.
They have secret plans, secret agendas. You know, and you at this point been forced to stop all the mirth. Now you don't have a choice but to burrow down and get this truth, right? For the most part. Now you're gonna have Jake that's gonna get it and gonna latch on to it. But it's gonna be a point where society gonna thrive a little bit more. But it's never gonna go back the same. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more breathing room for a minute. I can feel it. Like, it's gonna be, and we're gonna be getting caught on false prophets. You know, they said it was, you know. But hey, like they say, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon you. You know. But we're gonna get into it. Okay, go ahead.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
And that's these devils, man. All right, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. All right, he has brought nothing but trouble. Not only on the Israelites, but really upon the whole entire text, man. But excuse my French, he fucked up when he touched these people. You know, because at the end of the day, we was his brother. You know.
Esau take his brother.
Yeah. You got some more on there?
That was it.
We get that 2 Thessalonians 2. We start at the top.
It's the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai.
And this is what this is about. The whole reason that we're out here is to beg you on the behalf of the Heavenly Father who was on the begotten Son. All right? Hey, get right. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Great judgment is upon this place, man. You know? Go ahead.
By the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Hamashiach is at hand.
The day of the Lord, who you literally call Jesus Christ, man. Because everybody now is starting to get in tune with some sort of spirituality.
Overheat.
You remember we was at Health Unlimited yesterday?
Yeah.
And you know, every time I come down here, we pretty much visit this store, and it's never that packed. It's never that packed. I was asking the lady outside, I said, man, y'all mom is busy. She was like, we keep pretty busy, but nah, this not really the norm, you know what I'm saying? So everybody now, you know, is trying to get in some form of spirituality. You even hear Jake, man, this the end. This like an apocalypse type.
Mark of the beast.
Hey, so the Spirit of the Lord is being poured out upon this place, man. It's time to focus on the judgment that's at hand.
Verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
So we're past the time of the falling away, and we in the time of the day of the Lord coming back. See, the falling away was when we forgot who we were. We completely detached from our power, Yahweh Shai. We started falling into these other religions. Right. But now, as you say, we're Solomon, the 5th chapter. Solomon, the 5th chapter. He say, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. You know, which started with our forefather Abba back in 1969, 1970. Which only makes sense because in the 1960s is when Esau reached the peak, really, of his power. It was the beginning of the peak of his power. Once he set the stars, we say he set his nest amongst the stars with Isaiah, with the satellites. You know, I believe that was Kasab who just brought out Isaiah 14. You know, because ultimately the sword has advanced ever since Esau has, you know, took a hold of it. And the ultimate peak of the sword for Esau is technology.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why we like, you Jake's talking about getting guns, and man, that's low level.
Yep.
He'll give you niggas like he was giving you niggas AKs and choppers in the 80s, you know. So what he got? So far greater, man.
Yep.
You know, and the technology that he's in the process of perfecting now is also that he can use it on your ass. That's right.
If I can mention, if I can mention real quick too, like how you mentioned, like how Esau basically gave Jake, these weapons. Jake don't do nothing with it.
Jake don't do nothing.
When Esau's weapon, they got facilities where they practice.
Yep.
You know, they spend hours on hours of just learning how to train and use their weapons.
Esau got that shit in his backyard.
Man, Esau he have like precision shooting exercises just as his casual daily activity. Where he has, speed tests with how fast he can pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You know, they do all kind of different moves, and so he's a skilled marksman. He's a cunning hunter. Jake just got a gun. That's nothing more, nothing less. Nigga just got a gun with bullets.
Don't know how to take it apart. Don't know how to. I had a Jake that worked with me, and he said the police pulled him over and he took his gun. But he says he had a permit for him. He didn't take it from him because he had a license to carry. He said he took his gun apart, completely disassembled it, and threw it in his trunk. He said he thought I didn't know how to put it back together. See, some Jakes, got a little sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they'll do that and he's like, damn, he broke my gun. He done got rid of it. But see, Jake don't know nothing, man.
Gun.
Jake just feel the power behind the gun, but he don't understand how the gun works because there never was Jake's lesson. You know, you had that wisdom of Solomon.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him."
The righteous is the nation of Israel, man.
That's right.
All right? And starting with the elect, which comes in the form of what? Apostles, prophets, teachers. You know what I'm saying? Because the elect is going to be doing the work that's written here in this Bible. That's right. You know? Go ahead,
It
bro.
says, "And made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear."
And that's what's going on right now. See, they trouble. They like, man, they calling us out, you know. But at the same time, they need us. Like they watching, they need us to see like where we at. You know, because we, Lord willing, we are those elect men who come out here to prophesy in spirit and truth.
Con.
We showing him himself too.
That's right.
I'm like, yeah, it's you, man.
Yeah, scripture say we prophets to the nations.
Con.
So of course we like brother on into we tell our people, the gospel, so to speak, but then we telling other nations their outcome. You know.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for."
Now, what people are looking for, like, because they've been awakened to knowledge, right? And the nations are waking up, and they seeing this agenda for this new world order. But what they're now accounting for is that we are going to be the new world order. It's a new world order about to be established for sure. You see what I'm saying? It's a transition of power about to come. But it's about to be a righteous government established. That's the real new world order. You go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I want to say, that's the real new world order agenda is what we're preaching about. That's the good news about. What did Howard Shah say in Matthew the 10th chapter? When you go preach saying, repent for the kingdom of heaven. Right. Esau was already in his power structure with Rome. It died down and then it came back into power now. But that new world order for Esau, he already established it. He already established it. He building the desolate places. So the real new world order is coming through the kingdom of Israel. Which I like to say the true world order.
That's right.
The true world order is going to be established underneath the Israelites.
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem, which is another new world order. The new true world order is going to be, like it says in Revelation 21, New Jerusalem, the Israelites.
Which the New Jerusalem will be governed under the second covenant. Because the first covenant, we was under the first covenant when we was in Jerusalem, and it got cut short. It was going off. It was going off according to the law. So that New Jerusalem that's going to come back is going to be under the second covenant, which is going to be perfection. Because everything will be complete. And the bride will be made ready to be joined with the husband and to rule the earth. That's how it's going to go.
I got a quick precept. In 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed it.
Yeah, so when people say the end of the world, well, you got to know which world. It ain't just the end of the whole world. Esau has hidden the fact that there will be a rulership after him. A lot of people see his grand, his grandeur. A lot of people see his power, his teeth. A lot of people see his witchcraft, and they can't see anybody else running the world behind him. They can't see it because the first thing you're going to think about is how they're going to bring him down. Okay, but it's going to be brought down with the power of the right hand of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shah. And then afterwards will come a new rulership under the authority of the 144,000 King David and Yahweh Shah. Okay, that's going to be those that's overseeing the whole entire thing, man.
That's right.
So that's the afterwards. After the end of world or the end of Esau is going to come a fresh rulership, man. It's going to refresh everything. The air is going to smell sweet. You're gonna smell the sweetness in the air. The water is going to taste great. The food is going to grow. The earth is going to grow. Right. Everything is going to be in a state of rejoicing. You know.
You can go back to 2 Thessalonians. Because see, the whole idea that Esau has, like it says, that his dwelling places shall continue forever. And he knows that, like you say, he has but a short time to try to come up with his plan to stop, you know, the true power from coming into order, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, for that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Right. And there's only one man on the planet that's doing that, man. You know, when you look into Christianity, that's the highest form of religion on the planet. Who's the face of Christianity? You know? I was you know, now they can change the algorithms and shit up when you watch videos. You can be watching the apostles and then some Christian shit will come on. I don't watch this shit. Why the fuck is TD Jakes? Why is Kenneth Copeland coming on? Like, I don't watch this. Because they trying their hardest to keep your mind away from the truth, man. You see? But the thing about the truth, right? When you're really in the truth, when these devils speak, they tell on themselves.
They tell on themselves.
They tell on themselves. And so I'm listening, I'm like, man, hey, you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth, you know? So as him in opposition against the Most High, all he doing more is showing the power of the Most High, right? Let's go ahead, bro.
Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
Because the Most High left nothing untouched, man. He told us everything, man.
That's right.
He told us how everything was going to play out, man. Right before it happened, he always sent the prophets out, you know? And he told us years and years before, like even if it didn't, like I said, in Habakkuk, the vision is for a appointed time. Certain things we've been waiting on for a long time. But nevertheless, he did tell us, this day is going to come. This is going to happen, man.
That's real.
You know? That's the power of this book, man.
Wait for it.
This is why Esau, I remember coming into the truth, right? I used to watch the old school apostles, and when they used to be on Times Square. I used to watch High Priest Ariah when he was out there, right? Which, it was like flashbacks, you know? So I didn't come in that time, but it was like flashbacks. So I remember he said this, he said, the white man should have destroyed this book, but he couldn't, because he need this book. He need this book.
The book of Eli.
That movie.
I'm gonna get the scripture.
Go ahead, because I'm going through 2 Thessalonians, so those got precepts in between. You get them, man.
John, this is Revelation chapter 6 and verse let me see, verse 6. It says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So that's going into slavery. You know, the measure of wheat for a penny and the measure of barley for a penny, that's going into the slavery. Okay? But then it says, but hurt not the wine and the oil, because during slavery they used the Bible. The Bible was one of the major tools to manipulate the Israelites. That was one of the biggest things that was used to deceive them. Okay? But it says, hurt not the oil and the wine, meaning the Lord didn't give Esau that authority to cross that barricade. So he said, you can do whatever you want to do, but don't hurt the Bible.
Oh, it said Job, where it say his bounds, like he got boundaries, he can't pass. You know, he got a lot of time and he got a lot of amount of power. It's a line that he can't cross.
He can't cross it, man.
You know?
You know, and that goes to show you that everything that he's doing is only being done because the Lord is allowing it to be done. You know?
And he's not allowed to, this represents the wine and the oil.
That's the wine and the oil, the Bible.
You can't mess with this. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 6, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
And this is the time of his revealing. Go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Right, which wickedness he has been working ever since he came into power, beginning with Alexander the Greek, all right? The Greco-Roman Empire. Then he fell away for a time, all right? And then we fell away and he came back into power.
And then it wasn't a commonly known, of course Jake, you know, gonna know, like, you know, some Jakes was like, in Rome and Greece was like, man, this man's a devil.
Yeah.
But it wasn't no common thing that Jake was knowing in Greece and Rome because they was a part of these cultures and customs. That's where you had the Hellenization come in there. You know, same thing in America. You know, some people, you can talk to them and say that the white man's the devil, but that's not a thing that's being really pushed in America. Okay? And it was the same thing back then.
Especially back then.
Which is why the scriptures call him the mystery of iniquity. Because you would think like, damn, you know, back in Rome and Greece, they didn't know he was the devil.
Yeah.
Like, some people, a lot of Jakes didn't know. You know, because he had the same tactics. It was real subtle. He give you, you know, he allowed you to do things. He allowed you to be a part of his society. He allowed you to go to his clubs and freak off, and you know. So yeah, he's not too bad. But he was really the mystery of iniquity.
The mystery of wickedness. And when you get and because what Malachi tells you that Edom is the wicked.
Yep.
But he always been an identity thief. Because even he wasn't the original Greeks.
Nope.
He wasn't the original Romans.
Nope.
He's been going through the earth. Deceiving and devouring, you know, which I'm roughly paraphrasing, but that's his MO. It's deception and the sword, you know.
Even now, he's not the original Jew.
No, no, and that's the ultimate offense. You stole the identity of the sons of God.
Stole Tennessee whiskey.
Damn, he steal everything. You know,
leave us alone.
He really ain't got shit original, but wickedness. The only thing he got original is wickedness, man.
And that's what.
Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Which that's the hand of the Most High. It say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know? It say the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will put one
that is profitable.
Hey, ain't none of these nations gonna be profitable to the earth, man. So it's only one new world order that can be established to make this place profitable again. Because when you go to the beginning, it was always in the Most High's hand to let all the people be on the earth. But he had a separation. You know, he had a separation. He said, don't mess with the tree of good and evil, man. You know, which trees we know is allegory for really people. That serpent was Esau Edom, all right? And his whole time, he had a conspiracy. He had a conspiracy the whole time. He knew he couldn't mess with Adam.
But he wanted Adam's authority.
He wanted Adam's authority.
He wanted that dominion that was given to Adam. He wanted that dominion. So he deceived.
You see?
To try to get that dominion.
That's so beautiful how you see everything when you come into the truth from the beginning to the end. That's how you know this book. It ain't nothing like Christians. You picking and you talking about we cherry picking. Right. Like we hit every precept all the way from the beginning. It like you can start anywhere in the book and we can bring it back all the way to the beginning. But y'all trip up over the Most High and Yahweh Shai is two different entities.
Because that's that plantation Christianity.
Trip up on their favorite shit.
Come on, man. It's not in our power to reveal that. Ultimately, that's Esau that has deceived y'all, man. Taking this book and giving you Christianity was one of the greatest deceptions in the earth.
I got it.
Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. And when you look into that word forgers, it basically means like it's bread. You know, so hey, Esau, that's Esau, man.
eyes out. You know, he spread those false claims and fake news and conspiracy that disinformation and that misinformation. Now, he'll speak the truth in certain aspects, but then he'll throw something in there so you're misinformed. Certain things with the vaccines and the microchip. Like, look, man, we know the microchip is gonna come. We know the vaccines are gonna come. Stop telling people that. But that's that misinformation. They say, oh, you don't have to. Well, the thing with the checks. But if you do, it's gonna come here, or we're gonna come this time.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course, you know, the disinfo. You know,
the whole coronavirus is.
You know, right.
It's supposed to the chip.
Where they originate from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's because, like the brother read, these things are lies. He forged and spread these lies out to keep his lie going. You know?
That's right.
That's the thing, and the thing about a lie, the more you try to keep it going, the more it's exposed.
Yeah, it's hard to tell a lie. It is to tell the truth.
It's harder to tell a lie than to tell the truth, because one slip, then you
That's it.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
ain't gonna add up.
Yeah, this shit ain't adding up.
See where you coming from.
Hey, and you know, just not to speak on no carnal shit, but it was much easier when you was in the world to run game on abroad.
Oh, yeah.
When you come into the truth,
You
like,
hard to lie
that shit, it's like, man, that shit hard to lie.
Really just end up cutting off, man. It's like that Key and Peele episode when they was at the French restaurant.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, you know, I speak French, and you know, but he was at the restaurant on a date with a little chick.
Yep.
And you know, he was trying to show off to the waiter. He was like, well, but then the waitress actually knew French.
Yeah.
So he started talking back like, so he looked at the date. He was like, he's like, I can't lie no more. Basically, I can't lie no more, man. So he starts getting to the point to where he can't lie no more. He's just gonna have to react. He's back. He starts back in the corner. And naturally, anything that's in the corner that's being threatened, you know, they're gonna react. Whatever their defensive mechanism is, you know, they're gonna react. It's teeth. You know, and that's what he's getting ready to do. He's being backed in the corner through information. He's being revealed. The Rothschilds, there was a point in time in the earth where nobody never heard of the Rothschilds, man. Okay, except for top business people. You know, the slaves didn't know about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, let alone now we're talking shit about them. So Esau is in a point where he's backed into a corner. He's gonna have to make a move. He's gonna have to strike that poison, man. The poison of the serpent is gonna come in a very, very harsh manner.
That was the whole process of America being his greatest whore, because the form of America's government was based on a system called democracy, which really go into the rule of demons. But they tell you that it's the rule of the people. To make you think that what kingdom you ever know where the peasants rule? You know, the slaves rule.
Even though Rome.
That's the deception, to make you feel like, oh, we have a say so. We have the right to vote. We pick our leader. You know, freedom of speech. That's the greatest thing. I was like, man, if I was, you know, I'd probably come up with that shit too.
Devil's advocate. Shit.
I'd probably do that shit too. Make them think they ruling. You know?
Yeah, they think their vote matters.
Yeah.
Vote don't matter.
Jake be having real arguments over why y'all didn't go out and vote.
Oh, yeah. They get offended.
So you almost have to tell Jake that you did vote.
I voted. You have to lie to him. I voted.
Who you vote for? I don't tell nobody.
That's closed now.
I don't talk about politics.
I don't talk about it. That's between me.
Like the last, you know, when it was voting for the
election
governor in Georgia, you know, Jake, you know, driving by, walking by, you vote for Stacey Abrams? And be like, you know, Stacey Abrams, yeah. You know? Stacey Abrams, man. You know?
But that's his whole MO, man. You know, deceiving, man. And he's great at it. Because that's the spirit that the Most High gave him.
Master.
Yeah.
Mastermind.
Mastermind. But at the end of the day, the Most High is the ultimate supplanter. The ultimate Jake, man. You know, like his pride is gonna take him down. You know?
Can't outslick the slickster.
No. Okay. This is Proverbs 28 and 28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves. But when they perish, the righteous increase.
They perish.
Yeah. So just going back into, you know, Esau trying to get this new world order, okay, this man's getting ready to perish. His society is being found out to be a fraud, a fake. So now you're seeing the righteous that have truth start to rise, starting with us. All right, and then I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go into 29 in verse 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." So there is going to be a new world order, but it's going to be a righteous authority. It says, "But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn."
Yeah.
And we're starting to see the ramifications of the wicked bearing rule. So therefore, the righteous are going to have to increase. There's going to have to be a new world order established, but how, like under what authority, under what power, under what rule and laws and governorship is this new order going to be established? That's what we read 2 Peter the 3rd chapter. We look for a new heaven and new earth as well as righteousness.
You still holding that Isaiah? You can go at that now.
It's Isaiah chapter 7, and Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And that child is talking about Yahweh Shah, man. So that's the new world orders, The Heavenly Father ordained Yahweh Shah the dominion over the earth, man. All right? And then we join heirs with him, Lord willing, with those men. It's going to be 144,000 men. Ain't going to be no women, see. That's deception in itself.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yep.
I can say there's one thing too. It said how the government's going to be on the shoulders. When you read about the shoulders, being on something is basically like carrying the weight. And when you even hear about Esau, it speaks about Esau trampling things as son. Esau puts things under his foot. So you see the level of embracement and the level of nurture that the Lord is going to bring aside from what this kingdom brings. Esau ain't putting the government on the shoulder. He tramples everything. Not even his own people.
He put it under his feet.
Yahweh Shai, every single Israelite, even the ones that die on this side when they come back in the kingdom, are gonna be superior. This man has had the power of the earth, and he got his own people under his feet.
Yeah. He the power of the earth, and he vaccinating his own people, making them retarded. What are you doing?
That's ultimate wickedness when you kill your own people.
You want to kill people off,
giving them cancer.
They supposed
to. The Lord. It's good to say that the Lord maketh the earth empty, but that's to destroy the wicked. But as we establish our kingdom, and more slaves and more Israelites are born, everything's going to be in perfect balance. On the earth and in the heavens and on the other planets. Everything is going to be perfect and balanced.
That's in the Lord's Prayer, as in heaven, so on earth.
Yep, as in heaven, so on earth.
It says, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Verse 7, of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
Of the increase of his government, there shall be no end. So we ain't gonna never die, man. We're gonna constantly have righteousness. Like righteousness is gonna multiply exponentially, eternally, infinitely. You know, like our loins are gonna be blessed with nothing but righteousness, man. That's hey, and that's just the complete opposite of Esau either. Because when you read in Second Ezra and when you read in Genesis, it say about wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth.
Yep.
That's coming through his loins. That's coming through the seed of the wicked. So that's what's going to completely cleanse the earth is when righteousness is established through Yahweh Shai.
It's going to say that the wicked be multiplied just for the sword.
It says, of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
Yep. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this, man. So this is going to be carried out, right? Which is happening now. It's happening in the spirit, with this word going out. So as we speak these things that are written in this book, they're going to start manifesting more and more, man. Right. Like these scriptures that we go through them all the time. But we can say, Apostle Gabar said, well, the repetition is the father of skill. Right? So,
It That's how you know it's not talking about Solomon.
Right.
It's a reincarnation.
Right.
The guy that said that reincarnation is not in the scriptures. Well, King Solomon's kingdom fell.
It failed.
Yeah.
This is talking about Yahushua's kingdom.
Solomon died. God was only in captivity.
40 years. 40 years. You know, so it can't be talking about that. Yeah, I had something real quick for you. This is Revelations 5, 9 and 10. It says, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals. It's like open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made unto us our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Yeah. Yeah, so that thing is gonna play out on the earth. You know, and when you hear where it says his blood covered every kindred, people, and nation, they're talking about the Israelites and the scattered. That's right. So don't get it confused. You know, to try to creep into the salvation, man. That's going into the scattered Israelites. That's amongst these other nations speaking their languages and tongues, man. Out of.
That's right. Yep. Let's just say that the Lord's going to gather us out of the nation where we were scattered.
That's right. Yeah, the heathens ain't scattered. Okay, the heathens wasn't dispersed through trial and tribulation. They spread out because of their own will, like the scripture say. We has stretched himself like a green bay tree. He's covering the face of the earth not because he was scattered. Okay.
Slavery, he was scattered. Like I said, his own.
Yeah, you know. So the Lord is going to gather the elect out of those nations, and then through the order of Melchizedek, okay, which is Yahushua, that makes all of the tribes kings and priests, and then through that priesthood and the kings is going to be the authoritative figures on the planet Earth, and we're going to oversee and establish righteous policies on the face of the earth. It's going to be a kingdom, unlike any other kingdom. Okay, it's going to be nothing like America. Absolutely nothing. This is a left-hand side society. You drive on the left-hand side of the car. You write from left to right. Okay. You use left-hand logic over right-hand logic. Okay. You run to a split at the road. Niggas gonna go left. So this whole society is based off of left-hand energy. In the kingdom of heaven is going to be the polar opposite of how people think, how people write, how people talk, how people look. Everything is going to have a different vibration, man. That's going to play out right here on the planet Earth, man. But before that does, that wicked is going to be revealed and consumed by the mouth of the prophets. All right, which was set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This right here is one of the greatest signs that happened in the end. Was the prophets.
Beautiful.
Yep. This sign right here, because we actually physically down here with the people. So this is one of the greatest signs that the Lord set up to declare the end, was the prophets. That's why I say that people shall look for a sign, but ye shall not receive the sign except for the sign of the prophet Jonah. You know? It happened with Yahushua. We literally a living prophecy. That's what the prophets are. They are a living prophecy, walking, talking, breathing prophecy.
Beautiful.
You know, so this is a sign. This is a sign, you know, in itself, to declare that Esau is going down. Right. You know, hey, the Lord didn't even send certain spirits to the earth in these times. So he sent the prophets down here to prophesy for a particular reason. You know, because even the scriptures say that the angels wish to know the things that we do down here. And they marvel. Yeah, they marvel. Yeah, that's what they say. They marvel at the things that brothers is doing. And it says that we gonna judge the angels, meaning that the 144,000 is over the angels. Yeah. But the Lord is giving them charge over us to keep them in our way, because they on the higher level right now. Okay. But the angels is look at the elect down here like, man, I wish I had. How are they this? You know, which of course they, which they they understand it, but you know, seeing those spirits that was once up there with them get sent down here, you know, they like, oh man, this is crazy.
gonna protect them. We're gonna watch over. We're gonna keep them safe. Cause they basically we doing what they doing in the heavens. Down here. They doing it up there, and we doing it down here.
That's right.
But down here was a different heavy. It's a heavier task because we dealing face to face with the wicked.
That's right.
And we battling with less.
Mm-hmm.
In the flesh. We in that flesh. So it's like we on a whole nother like playing field. And they like, man, how you know? But then you got Jacob that get lost on that.
Yeah.
Jacob say, you see how they say they above they all above the angels.
You had
Hebrews 1.
who just did a video? Somebody did a video. Oh, the Howard Shai.
Saints of Yahweh
in the UK was trying to condemn brothers in Great Millstone because the brother said that the elect was over the angels. That's in the scriptures.
Even with Jacob, because I did a response video to it. One, that's why when you spoke on, I was like, well, y'all can do a response video to that. You go into the story of Jacob, it say Jacob prevailed over the angels.
Yep. Yep.
Look up the word prevail. The word prevail means to overcome.
Ooh. Look up on.
No, the angel fucked him up.
He said, I saw that. He said the angel
fucked him up.
Fucked Jacob up.
He said, no.
I mean, dislocated his hip,
but Jake still didn't let go. And he said, I ain't gonna let you go until you give me the
blessing.
blessing.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Well, Yahweh Shai was over the angels' walk because he was in the flesh and he overcame in the flesh. We overcome flesh where it says, "Oh, death, where is thy sin?" That's sting. We got that same title, man. Many Yahweh Shai, and it said, "He shall judge the angels."
Right. I was about to get that.
And if you go into Revelation 19, was it 8, 9, and 10? When the angels talking to John, and John tried to bow down to him, he's like,
I'm your fellow servant.
I'm your fellow servant and of thy brethren.
See that thou doest not.
Yes, he does do is not, because he's a brother. You know?
He said he rebuked him. He said, why did he have to rebuke him?
Nah, he just corrected him like, nah, you
that
know,
was
just
reproof.
look, I'm one of your brothers. So I come from the spiritual realm, and you here in earth going through your trial right now, but believe that what Yahweh Shai said is true. They co-sign what Yahweh Shai said. So Yahweh Shai took the spiritual cross, said we're going to judge the angels, then they with it.
Yeah. And
that's why they marvel at us.
The thing is, when the angels would appear to certain of the men of the scriptures, the reason why they would show that level of reverence or that level of fear is because the angels got coming from a higher power. So you mean to tell me the angels gonna just come in all soft? They come in with a lot of power. It's just as if you jump into this water right here. And that how you gonna come in that water? It's gonna be a big ass splash, and everybody else around you, the fish gonna scatter. You coming into another realm from a higher, more powerful realm.
From the Most High.
From the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They're coming into the earth. So it's one of those things where it's like, if an angel was to come down right now, bro, we Some brothers might take off. Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Was in charge of the 4 winds. Destruction comes. Yes. They have power right now.
But the angels,
They got the power.
the angels, the angels are ministering to us. That's why I say he make the ministers as flames of fire. You know, so they're pretty much, Yahweh Shai pretty much got them set up to keep us safe and to help serve us. Man. So it's all set up in the spirit. That's neither here nor there, but the point that we was making was that the kingdom of heaven is being orchestrated and set up right here on the planet Earth. And this is the beginning of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, this is New Jerusalem in Babylon. Okay?
Oh, Trump deemed Jerusalem the capital of the world.
Yep.
That's how
They know they need that vibration. They need the vibration of putting that out there in order for them so-called Amalek to try to continue on in their wickedness and sin God and Satan fears us. It's because the sun saying that appears as an angel of light. The children of the light are the Israelites. You know? So they're trying to appear as if they're us, but of course they're, like we're going into now, they're being found out. You know? And we still got power. We still have us in the flesh, like what the Bishop was saying. Okay, this sign of us being out here, all right, this is through spiritual power. Okay? I got a
Mhm.
scripture real quick. Everything else. So this is Revelation chapter 11 and 3.
Mhm.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses. All right, which the witnesses are the northern and southern kingdom of Israel. Right, that's why you got all 12 tribes out here. And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Right, so we out here prophesying. We've been prophesying for some time in sackcloth. Okay, the will and the good news of Yahweh Shai. And then one more, it says, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the power of the earth. So we're coming out here as ambassadors of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. Okay? That's the point.
Mhm. Mhm.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
The spirit of the Lord's mouth is his prophets, man. Okay? Which we know when the Lord comes in the chariots, those chariots, he's gonna shoot laser beams out of those chariots. Those are symbolic of his mouth too. But see, when you read in Jeremiah, he said he's gonna make his people wood and his words like fire in the mouth of his prophets. You see? So we really fucking this man shit up with his words.
Yeah, right. Yep.
You know, we spitting fire, man. You know,
It's condemning.
it's condemning.
Mhm.
Go ahead, bro.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yep. And that's all we be talking about. Hey, Yahweh Shai on the way back. He on the way back. The chariots, he seeing them. That's scaring the fuck out of him. You know, it's a known thing that UFOs are real now. You know, everybody's been having a UFO sighting. You see what I'm saying? Right now, too, they got a comet that's on the way. They say it's half the size of the sun. That's most likely a chariot.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So all these things are happening. It's letting him know because it's written in the scriptures and we breaking it down. He watching, letting him know that, oh yeah, we running out of time.
And see,
we running out of time.
Yeah, and another thing too, Tazama, is his sorcery is wearing out because we know the truth.
We know the truth.
So when he say shit like the earth is going to end by an asteroid, we call bullshit. Because it ain't in the scriptures. We call it bullshit. The scriptures don't say that an asteroid gonna come to the earth and crack this world and that's gonna be the end of humanity.
Right.
The scriptures don't talk about the ice age killing the dinosaurs. What's the other thing that they say killed out the dinosaur? They say the ice age or an asteroid. That's not in the scriptures. It's not in the scriptures. Okay? So that's why your enchantments and your sorcery is wearing off. Because we know what the scriptures say, man.
We're going to the moon. How about we're going to mine?
Going to the moon.
The scriptures say the moon is a light, man. Right. If the sun is a light and you damn sure can't go to the sun.
Right.
You damn sure can't go to the moon.
Like the moon is like you gonna go to the moon, it's gonna be cold.
Right.
You just bounce
on it.
and you just gonna bounce around,
65, 70 degrees.
floating around and kicking with the American flag up there.
Right.
Nigga, the moon is hot too.
Right.
It's a light.
It's a light, man.
That's
You freaking idiot. But guess what, man? That's why we call a spade, man. You can't. That's why, you know. And then when we tell other people, we bringing them out of that witchcraft and out of that darkness, out of that sorcery, and then they tell other people. So therefore, your enchantments don't work. That's right. People can call bullshit now, man, because the light is shining, man, and that's all a part of the revealing, man. Like the brother going into 2 Thessalonians, going into the revelation of Esau. Well, guess what? Yahweh Shai, the revelation of Yahweh Shai is soon to come too. Through that light. Everything is being revealed, man. And Yahweh Shai is going to be the final piece of the puzzle to be revealed, man. Right. But he's being revealed unto us in the spirit, but he's going to actually physically appear. He's going to show up. He's going to pull up. He's going to, like, and then he's going to
pull up.
Bro, think about a chariot the size of a mountain coming in the sky at the speed of light. Just 1 minute you see a blue sky, and then you just see some, so like you see some, and then now it's just on top of it, because say he's going to come from the east like lightning. So it's gonna be fast. He ain't just gonna come in just cruising. It say he gonna come from the east like lightning. And whew, now you look up, he just right there. That's the revelation of Yahushua, man.
It says chariots like a chariots like a whirlwind.
Yep.
That's it's not a slow moving thing. It's just fast, powerful.
And what we're destroying that path.
Yep.
Be some like
Yep. And they say, because when Ezra described it, because Ezra, the prophet Ezra, he saw Yahushua, man. He got a vision, all right? He got a vision of Yahushua. And when he described Yahushua, what did he say? He said it was like a mountain, man. And he said he couldn't make out one end from the other. Meaning that the chariot is bigger than earth. It's probably bigger than the size of the earth, man. If the scriptures say every eye shall see him,
It's gotta be bigger.
it makes sense.
It's gotta be bigger than that.
he gotta. If you see something in the sky in America and in China at the same time,
It's gotta be
It's
bigger.
gotta be bigger than the earth.
Among the other chariots is going to be there, because that's that's the fathership.
Yep.
Then the other chariots is going to be
Yeah,
flying around
yep.
doing what they do too. The other fleets doing what they,
there's gonna be a dreadful and fearful day for those that's not of the elect.
Exactly like it said in the scripture. It'll be a great and terrible day.
Yep.
And you think about when you come in, you ever see those movies where they be like having like portals, and it go from one realm to another, like on Mortal Kombat. You know, like we going from this realm to this realm. So it coming from the spiritual realm into the earthly realm with that much power.
Yes.
Just imagine the earth gotta shake.
It's gonna shake. It's gonna reel to and fro, man. Let me get that, man. But that's when ultimately that's going until when the missiles hit too.
Yeah.
You know, but that means that the Lord is gonna come with a fleet of just power, missiles, spiritual power, heavenly power.
Some of the chariots.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh in clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
Yeah, meaning people gonna be screaming. They're gonna be screaming, what is that? Oh no!
But he said, the aliens. What that guy say?
Right.
It's the aliens.
Aliens! Oh no! An alien invasion! This is what they've been hiding from us, guys! No, that's the revelation of the Son of the Most High. Yahushua coming in his power and his glory. Hey, the prophecy in Zechariah was that what? It said he that cometh lowly, that rideth upon a donkey in the foal of an ass. Meaning, when he came into that was Jerusalem, that he came into to basically present himself to the people. He came in lowly as a man. But then what the scriptures describe him in Revelation? He say he gonna come in as a white horse now. White meaning pure, horse represents power. And I will not meet thee as a man.
Gold in his hand represent he coming to do battle.
Yep. And then meaning he coming to conquer, and he coming. That's why John the Revelator described him. It said, and on his vesture and on his thigh was of his garment, of course, it said it was written King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and he wore many crowns. So he gonna come in like a straight up and down king, man. You gonna hear a trumpet, and he gonna appear in straight power. That's the ushering in of the King of the earth.
Him now, another a herald is somebody that calls out. Are we not the church calling out? Calling out what? Calling out, saying that our Savior Yahushua is going to come and save the elect of Israel. And then that old song, should be coming around the mountain, right? The original song talks about Yahushua, where it says, "Here comes sweet Jesus, come around the mountain," but it's really, sweet Yahushua is coming. But he's coming with not horses, because that's how the song goes, but the horses are really the chariots of the Lord. So the Lord gonna pull up. The brother read that it said that he's coming with clouds. So he's going to be in his mountain-sized cloud, his chariot, and he's coming with the other fleet. That's why we're seeing those.
I gotta get that for you.
Those lights and those, it'll start off as one or two lights, and
yeah.
multiply.
Multiply.
It could be Yahushua coming and that one mountain-sized chariot, you know, right, in the Father ship, and then you just see ships just appearing.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of chariots.
Millions,
appearing.
probably.
And
Yeah.
millions and billions, and then they just then you hear, you know, like what's good to say, how shall I come back with that laser? They say nothing to be perceived but smoke.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see them laser beams just chum, 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 chum. Esau gonna be trying to zip around. Nah, man. Yeah, it's gonna go.
And this,
It's gonna be like a it's like flies and mosquitoes to you know, the bug zapper.
Yeah.
I mean, the chariot's gonna be zapping the fleet of Esau like bugs.
Well, if I could say, also you gotta remember how the scriptures describe it. Those chariots is also going to come from the valley of Yahweh Shaphat from fighting over there.
Yep.
You know, to over here. That's why I say it's going to come from the east. From the east, because the prophecy is that they're going, the archangel Michael and the holy host of angels are going to fight in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the war of Armageddon. Which that goes into, that's in Revelation. What is it? That Revelation 14, where it says they shall fight in the heavens. There shall be a war in the heavens.
12.
Revelation 12. Yeah, somebody get that real quick. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen over in the Middle East. And then from that war, you know, missiles are going to be launched. Yahweh Shai going to swoop in from the east, hit this place up, gather up the elect, dip out. Then the missiles going to crash this place, man. You know. So this thing is getting ready to escalate, man. It's about to escalate tremendously, man. Okay, you got it to that one?
Yeah, I got it right.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven.
Woo!
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Well, hold on. See, this how you know that the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, because Daniel said the same thing. Yeah, Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel said the same exact thing. You know, he said at that time, Michael, the archangel, stand up to defend the people. Well, hold on. That's the same thing John is saying, man. It's war in heavens, and then Michael, the archangel, gonna stand up, man. You know, the spirit of the prophet subject to the prophet. So this is a development. This is a development, man.
They say the same thing.
Yep.
We say the same thing.
Ezra saw it too.
We
saying it.
Yeah, we saying it.
You know,
somebody got to be the prophet.
somebody got to be the prophet. Yeah, that's right, bro. Go ahead, Doc.
So it says, it says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Yeah, now who's the dragon? Who's the dragon? Esau, the serpent, man, from the beginning. Okay, the Leviathan, the beast. Okay, the dragon, the beast. He's gonna send his Space Force crafts, vehicles. Okay, the Air Force. You know, he's gonna send niggas out there. But the Lord is gonna put it in them people's spirit. Matter of fact, man, get 2 Ezra 13, because it's gonna say it. It's gonna say it. The Lord is gonna put the spirit on these fighters to be scared as hell and still fight. Because the Lord just want to battle, man. He want to see a battle. So he's gonna make them fight against them and say they're gonna be scared as hell, but yet still fight. Come on, man.
Yeah, there's fight.
If I could just say something, the brother Living Waters 144, he just posted that 2 Ezra 11. Yeah, so that's the spirit.
kind.
That's beautiful, man.
Brother Kevin.
Bring that part out, Karaj. You know what I want?
You talking about how they tremble?
No, where it says they stood up to fight.
The 2 Ezra 13.
Yeah, 13.
There's fight.
11.
Okay. 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Yeah, that's Satan and his angels. The multitude that was prepared to fight. Okay, I can't remember what they call the people that fly the jets. It's a war term that they call them.
War eagles.
Probably war dogs or war eagles or dog fights.
Dog fight.
Fighting the airplanes battling, but they call they have like a technical war name. But they're gonna be the ones that go toe to toe with the chariots. Okay, go ahead, bro.
It says, and burn them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
That's what the priest Desire one was saying. There's gonna be so much vaporization going on in the heavens, you know, just straight up and down being vapor. Because we're talking about a blast from a heavenly vehicle with heavenly fire. This is a different. These are going to be heavenly elements that's going to be used to fight within the earth.
Pure.
So it's not going to just burn like a, you know, like a pit fire. You know, just
Dissipate.
no. They're going to get straight up and down vaporized, bro. You know, that's why Tazal one brought it out earlier. It's just going to be a jet 1 minute, and then the next minute is going to be a cloud of smoke. It's gonna get broken down. That's why the scriptures say they're gonna be broken down as chaff, powder. It ain't gonna be shrapnel flying and big chunks of the plane. It's gonna be straight up and down dissipation, man. Okay.
I got quick precept to that.
Go ahead, Elder.
It's this is the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 22. It says, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots.
Yeah, meaning the vehicles. You know. Now I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Esau got some top of the line engineered jets, man, that'll blow your mind, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We talking about
You can't even see them flying.
you can't even see them flying. We talking about the material that they use is premium material, metals. You know, different. You know, the craftsmanship is amazing.
Yeah.
And they just gonna get taken out, man. You got certain planes that they can really withstand a hit. You can hit a certain plane, depending on the type of military jet it is. It can get shot or hit, and it'll bounce off. That's the type of craftsmanship that they have, man.
That's why they had to develop hypersonic missiles. Because everybody has to upgrade their military
Defenses
defenses and weaponry and things like that. Because like when you look up, like you'll see a post and you say, look, scientists have come up with this new high-grade technology. That's military technology.
That's right.
That's military coming up with these different materials. You know, it'll be like an element that's strong, but it's lighter than steel or something like that. And you know, like featherweight. They're imagine a material like that, multiply it big enough to cover a whole plane or a whole
like Kevlar.
Jet.
Yeah.
Kevlar and stronger than Kevlar. You know, clear, invisible, and they got all kind of stuff.
They use they use stones on some of those jets. Hematite. Some jets got that hematite in it because hematite is hard to break.
Hematite, obsidian.
Yeah, obsidian.
Yeah.
Yep. read that.
Okay.
Oh, so like the Rochester I had a little bit.
Yeah, I feel sure.
I make a quick point. Anytime Esau trying to advance his technology, you better believe that it's for war. You know, don't think that this 5G is just so you can have fun on your PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5.
Oh, when Trump dumped all the money into the military?
Yeah.
They're upgrading shit. That was 600 billion. That was 600 billion.
Yeah.
He put 600 billion into the military, bro. Like, I think the first year or second year he was in office. Yep. Oh, not to mention before Trump, during the Barack Obama administration, Barack Obama and Homeland Security purchased 7.6 billion Hollow Point boots.
Let's go. Yep, they did.
They're not doing that because they want to.
Now why would they purchase that? I mean, that's a bullet for everybody in the world.
Right. They lined up everybody in the world. They could shoot
at one time.
They probably still have 500,000 bullets left.
That's right, bro. Go ahead, Roger.
It says, it says, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them.
Yeah, the riders. See that? Yeah, that's what it's saying, right? That's what. See, Ezra, you got to think. Use your imagination. Ezra seen pilot jets flying and people inside of them scared, but still fighting. He saw that.
He got projected. He was like projected into the future. He was
He seen it. Like he literally seen it, man. You know, he saw that. You know, John, the Revelator, got the vision from the angel of people fighting against the chariots. You know, Read that part again, Elder.
It says, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother.
That's right, man. They're gonna be brought down, man. You know. Now you can hit that.
Okay. So this Revelation 11 and 12, and I read 7 and 8 again. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
That's right, because all of those all them jets, they're gonna be taken out. That war gonna be in the heavens gonna be over fast.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be over fast. Remember that that video that surfaced where you had the Iranian military shooting at that chariot? It was the chariot was just
playing with them.
Yep.
Playing with them.
Yeah, well it says it's gonna be found no more place in heaven, meaning all of them, everything's gonna be wiped out. You know, Yahweh Shai is gonna prevail, and then after that war is gonna come in salvation. You know, you're gonna see that the fruit of Israel ready for the picking. You know, rising up. You know, the twinkling of an eye. That links into 1 Corinthians 15. You know, if you're gonna be changed at a twinkling of an eye, that's gonna be the marriage. Okay, because you always gonna have some haters that try to stop you from getting married before the wedding day. Don't marry that bitch. Don't do it. Don't marry that broke ass nigga. Hating and trying to throw your wedding off. You know, well that's what Esau doing. He trying to stop the marriage between Yahweh Shai and Israel, man. You got to think, man. Israel hasn't been with Yahweh Shai in over 2,000 years.
Yep.
But Yahweh Shai, throughout history, he would always appear. He would always come and dwell in the earth. You know, as Isaac and Adam and King Solomon and Yahweh Shai. He would come down and be on the earth. We're talking about 2,000 years that our king hasn't been on the earth. So this is gonna be a great reconciliation. Because it's been a minute.
Right.
In the earth, you know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. It's like, hey man, Yahweh Shai back in the earth, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, we need, bro. The earth been fucked up since the Lord went back into heaven.
Yeah.
We got to think about everything that happened after Yahweh Shai died.
Temple ring.
Byzantine Empire. Through. Okay. Slavery. Renaissance. Okay. Civil rights. Jim Crow. The Punic Wars. The Roman. That was before Salaki. Because that was between Carthage and Rome. Yeah, you're right. What else? You had the Jewish Roman Wars. You had the killing off of the apostles and the prophets. You had the Holy Roman Empire. The earth been fucked up.
Slavery.
The last 100 years just been
crazy.
So you think about everything else before then. You know what I'm saying? So when Yahweh Shai comes back to the earth is really going to be relieved. The earth needs Yahweh Shai. Right. The earth, we need Yahweh Shai to be on earth.
We do.
Because without Yahweh Shai here on earth, bro, we in trouble. We're through. And King David. That's why I say we shall seek David our king. So the Lord gonna raise up King David too, whether it's on the chariot or whether the Lord raise him up and bring him back in the flesh. Oh, it can be done.
Oh yeah,
it can be done.
Scripture say there's nothing impossible with Yahweh Bashem Shai, man. So there's gonna be certain things that's gonna transpire in the heavens and on earth that's gonna make people question reality.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? What is that in the sky? What is that coming out the sea? Why is that man flying?
Yep. It's going to defy science.
That's why Esau has to listen, because he's going to do that deception like Brother brought up Project Bluebeam. He's going to do that deception. He's going to try to make, oh, there's your savior. See, he's white. He's not. And a lot of Jake's going to fall for that shit.
Yep. Oh, yeah. They're going to bow to him. For all we know, we just, freestyling. But Esau may materialize a fake Jesus in the sky, with a voice message telling you to take the chip.
Yeah.
This is my covenant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Telling
Don't
you
make it
take,
like this. That's the covenant. This is the covenant. I was telling you.
take the back seat. You never
There's
know.
gonna be some shit when they come with these vaccines.
Well, Esau has to perform. He has to perform some iconic display to deceive. He has those great line wonders, man. And he has robotics. He has things that he ready to show it off. Well, you got to remember, man, Satan can do miracles. You know, Satan can do miracles. Yeah, Satan got power. He's a son of God. He's an angel. They showed him the world. Yeah, and that was Satan.
Yeah.
That was Satan himself. You know, which that was the same Satan that pulled up on him in the garden.
I was just about to say, yeah.
That was spiritual. But no, guess who wasn't there? Guess who wasn't there? That second round.
Eve.
I was shot like, you ain't gonna get me this time. She ain't nowhere inside.
He told Satan everything Eve should have told him.
That's right.
Woo!
He stood up. But notice Eve wasn't nowhere in that picture.
Eve said that one thing. Well, you know, the Most High said we're not supposed to eat in the garden.
Yep.
And then he slicked his way into her mind. Well,
Got it.
you know what I'm saying? Well, you
Give
know
you this, give you
nah,
that.
That ain't true now.
They give you this and they give you that. You know, just go back and tell them, man. Just tell them this.
You should not shoot.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up on that last one too today.
Okay. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Woo! They say, shall the righteous man do what, bro?
Stand in great boldness.
Now when we talk about stand, okay, that's not literal. It is, but it's not literal. It's talking about it's a spiritual stand. Meaning when you're standing, that means you have power, that means you're aware, that means you have stability. Okay? So when it says stand with great power, talking about the power in the Lord. We're taking a stance with these words, with the spirit. Okay? That's what it means when it say we shall stand in great boldness. Okay? When we coming out here prophesying, telling the white man he a devil, he gonna go on to slavery, cussing out 2/3, and declaring the prophecies of the scriptures, that's what that's talking about, man. Yep, because remember in Revelation 11 it says what? It said great fear fell upon them when they stood on their feet. Yeah. That's dealing with the dry bones. You know, when the bones and the sinews came back together, and when it talks about standing, that's talking about having stability and awareness and power. Because when you're standing, you have to be woke. You don't stand, you don't go to sleep like this. You don't sleep standing up. So that's talking about awareness, that's talking about stability and power. Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to read this, right above it in the 16:11. It says, the wicked shall wonder at the godly and confess their error and the vanity of their lives.
We're sorry, guys. Will you please find it in your hearts to believe us? We didn't do it. It was our forefathers. We're trying to make it right with you black ass people, man.
Sought it carefully with tears. Sought it.
It says the Most High. It says the Most High will reward the just and war against the wicked.
He's going to war against the wicked, man. You know, the left hand side of the Lord. You know, that's he's gonna take the right and beat him down, man. Okay, go ahead, bro.
It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
It says before the face. That's dealing with, meaning they gonna see us, because we're gonna be before their face, dealing with now that goes to Isaiah 13, the gates of the nobles. Which I'm gonna be real with you. That's already happened. Because they watching our videos. We going before the gates of the nobles because they watching our videos.
We in their cities preaching.
We in their cities and everything. Some brothers, say that again.
That's why they censoring it.
That's why they censoring it, man. That's why they want to put restrictions on this message, man. Okay, because they watching it and them niggas getting mad and scared at the same time.
And they taking a lot of shit down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tried to find an old video that we did. And, you know, some videos you do, especially when either might come up. You have, dialogue with them or whatever, you going to the scriptures, it'll get so many thousands of views.
Yeah.
Man, I had a whole playlist on my page. Delete it.
Damn.
Yeah, because the channels be getting taken down.
Yeah, he don't want this thing to go out, but he said we gonna stand before their face, meaning he gonna see us. Go ahead, bro.
Yep. It says and made no account of his labors.
Yeah, they don't speak highly about what our ancestors did for America. These ancestors of the slave owners, they don't talk good about the slaves that their forefathers had, that built up your whole fucking lifestyle, nigga.
Right.
You don't give them no credit. You don't give them no mention. You don't try to check and see where their ancestors at to this day. You try to give them a little piece of the pie that your white ass, pale ass got.
Uncle Nearest.
That make
know?
you say,
Yeah.
Uncle Nearest, the perfect example. You know, and that's talking about our labors now, because it says the one that's standing in great boldness, they made no account of their labors. So, like brother was saying, they're censoring our videos. Oh, those black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it seem like we're insignificant. Okay.
And that's if I can mention too, that's how they did Peter and John in Acts 4th chapter, and they said that they stood in the boldness, and they marveled at them because they perceived that they were ignorant men.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. We're sorry, guys. Hey, man, at least are not sleeping good at night.
No.
Those old bones, you know, these so-called elite bankers, they're not sleeping good. That's why that's why they're trying to move this thing out with this COVID-19. That's why they say, you know what? We got the COVID-19. Let's just use this event to just do what we got to do.
Yep.
You know, because they're not sleeping good. They're trying to do things quick. It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Meaning that that was going to be their least expectation to see the people that they hurt and injured and disenfranchised find favor in the Creator. That's the last thing that they thinking is gonna happen, and that's why I say they're gonna be amazed. They really gonna be down here speechless.
Mouth open.
All these black people and Spanish and Native Americans and Italians and it's like getting beamed up. And they pace their ass and standing right here 10 toes down in the earth, getting ready to get blown to smithereens.
They always thought the Most High was with them. Is what they say. They think all the, I'm roughly paraphrasing, one like himself. And even when they came over here, and they took over the Americas, they came in the name of Christianity. You know.
So they believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. That was it on that, right? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close it out, giving all praise and glory and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors once again to the apostles and elders, peace and safety to the elect, men, women, and children. Until next time, we say shalom.
Shalom.